And I do believe we're live. Welcome to the show that's always late, except this week, in which I think we're actually a minute early.
We are.
Yeah, it's first time, I think.
I think we've been 5 to 10 minutes early once.
I know, but I was joking. Don't worry.
It wasn't funny.
Well, it wasn't.
Well, it is because we're always late. Most of the time, we're late. So
That's
the
true.
fact that we're
It
early.
Oh, she sent us home and laughed at us. It was fucking terrible.
I mean, sometimes we're like 2 months late. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were like 4 months late once.
Yeah, so the fact that we're a minute early, I think we need to point that out and
pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah,
good for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also the show filled with spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movies we're going to review, you've been warned. There's lots of spoilers. The name should be a giveaway. So
we sometimes spoil movies we're not even talking about on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a bad habit of doing that.
We really do. We're not sorry. You're here. So.
And I do believe we're one of 3 intellectual properties in the world which aren't owned by Disney at this point.
Oh, it's true.
So there's only 3 left. There's us, Steve Shives, because no one wants to buy his channel, and a YouTube channel about feet. So.
Oh no, the foot channel caved.
Did they?
The feet sing now.
Just now.
Oh, so 2. Only 2 left then.
Yeah.
Who's more marketable, us or Shives?
Which one will crumble first? That's the question.
I mean, I already love Disney, so I'm on board with being into the conglomerate. I'm good.
Becoming a shill.
Oh yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a shill because I love Disney.
Anyway, we've got 3 movies to review today. 2 one Christmas movie, 1 Hanukkah movie, and 1 zombie movie, because not only is this our Christmas show, it's also our Friday the 13th show, although technically it's Saturday the 14th here, but it's still Friday the 13th for you guys.
Upside down world doesn't count. It's okay.
Yeah.
So do we get progressively more Christmassy or progressively less Christmassy?
Should we start with the Hanukkah movie? Just get that out the way, I think.
Oh, come on. Eight Crazy Nights is so underappreciated. That fucking movie makes me like belly laugh the whole way through.
I was wondering if you guys made a mistake and it was, Torture Fest week or something.
No. Am I the only one here that actually loves that movie?
That was such a cringe-worthy movie. I mean, it was amusing in a really bad, cringy way.
Yeah, it's like the most juvenile humor.
But most of it I did not enjoy at all. I did like the Yenta character. I thought she was great. I thought she was very amusing. But yeah, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. I can take him or leave me.
The 2 of you are the worst.
And what's with the reject from Lord of the Rings?
Which one?
The dwarf with the hairy back.
Oh, the hairy, the hairy everything.
Yeah.
What about him? You got a problem with? You got a problem with
that? I mean, who
weird.
Who wrote that character is what I want to know. Weirdest fucking character I've ever seen.
The whole movie is fucking weird. That's probably why I like it so much. It makes me laugh. Like I could watch it again right now.
Also, not very progressive. Come on, the Asian stereotypes at the start, and the Jewish stereotypes, and
terrible.
The fat shaming. Come on.
The trans woman with the beard. Yeah.
Well, I believe
there's going to be a Twitter mob after.
If anybody hates on it, they're anti-Semitic.
Yeah, the unwoke term is transsexual. Oh, thank you very much.
The movie's not woke, but I don't have to be like that.
Well, I think the Twitter mob might say something differently.
They might. They will.
They can't go after Adam Sandler. It's anti-Semitic.
Well,
leave the Jewish man alone.
We need to examine the progressive stack. I mean, if you're a black lesbian in a wheelchair, I think you can go after someone who's Jewish.
But he didn't make fun of black people or cripples. Well, sort of, but
yeah, that was the whole point of the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the only reason he didn't make fun of black people was because there were none in it.
There wasn't any, was there?
No.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I find that movie hysterical. Well, when he pushes him down that hill in the fucking porta potty, I die.
I didn't die, but I did find that slightly funny. Yeah, and then he hoses him off. Yeah, that was slightly funny. And like I said, I did like the Yenta character.
Everything about that movie makes me laugh.
I thought, well, I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious where it was going and how it was going to end up. But I mean, that's the problem with all Christmas movies, or just about all Christmas movies.
That's what I like about this one so much. It's so like you spend most of it trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Really? Oh, are we talking about the same movie?
It's so like nothing makes fucking sense. Why are the deer sentient for one thing?
I don't know. Christmas
magic. It's not a Christmas movie.
Holiday magic.
Hanukkah movie.
Fine.
Hanukkah magic.
Yeah, holiday magic. Hanukkah holiday. Just let's encompass all of this. You know, it's just holiday magic, I guess.
You know, if you don't appreciate poop humor, we can't be friends.
What? By the way, what the hell is Kwanzaa? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, it's a black holiday that's celebrated around December. I don't know exactly.
Like a Christmas thing?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Because it's something I've seen in movies and TV shows for decades now, but I don't think I've ever seen a proper explanation. I've always thought it was, some African American holiday or something, but not exactly sure what it was celebrating. I thought it might have been like an African American version of Christmas or something.
Kwanzaa is a week-long annual celebration held in the United States and other nations of the African diaspora in the Americas to honor African heritage in African American culture. So
it's like the Star Wars holiday special then.
It sounds like it's specifically for Black Americans.
We're all
African Americans.
That's not very inclusive.
It's not inclusive?
They
don't have to be inclusive.
White people?
No, they don't have to be inclusive to their oppressors.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Forgot.
God. Gotta explain everything.
But you're a
very
woman. You're not
slowly.
an oppressor, are you?
No, I can be included, but I would need I need permission because I'm very white.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the spiciest episode of the
It's this movie. This movie is so.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, please welcome yourselves to the spiciest episode ever.
It's like the absolute opposite of PC culture. I don't know much.
Twitter mob is headed our way.
I don't know much. I don't know many other movies that, like, without being racist on purpose, like blatantly racist on purpose, with the intent of being really racist, exist.
I will give the movie credit that it is very not politically correct.
No, it's so funny. These guys don't know what they're talking about. I laugh a lot watching this movie. Maybe that's just my juvenile sense of humor. I like the poo poo and the pee pee.
Yeah, but you like Grindhouse Nightmare too, so
it's true. That made me laugh a lot too. Come on, when he makes fun of the fat kid, I laugh like a lot. Maybe I'm just mean. I think
you're just mean.
I think I'm just mean, and this movie is so yeah. Hey, when all the other wait a minute. When everybody else in the town's mean to Whitey, it's not funny. It's only funny when Adam Sandler's character does it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe Whitey. He's such a weird character.
He's wholesome. He's an elf in human form.
Yeah, but what is he?
He's a dwarf with off-sized feet.
Yeah, but what is he?
A dwarf with off-sized feet.
Yes, but you're not. You're
He's a hairy old man, and he happens to be a dwarf, and he has off-sized feet. What do you want?
And he's also an incel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that all of these explanations, even Bane's, just aren't enough to describe.
Wait a minute.
What he is.
He's an incel, but he has an imaginary wife, and he's very happy with her.
And he had sex once on a telephone. he actually says that.
That fucking scene makes me laugh.
You know what? Admittedly, that made me laugh too.
Yeah, I agree. That did make me laugh too.
You know what? You
made me laugh, like legitimately gave me a laugh because
you both laughed a lot, and you just don't want to admit it.
No, I did not laugh a lot.
Challenged.
I smirked at points.
I don't
mainly at the Yenta. I found the Yenta character very funny.
Yeah,
I so don't believe you. I 100% disbelief. Don't believe you.
No, most of it I was sitting there in disbelief, thinking, "What the fuck am I watching?"
What the fuck made me watch? Why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? It's Christmas.
I am not sorry. I am not sorry. I love 8 Crazy Nights. It makes me laugh. I honestly could watch it again right now, and I'd be happy. I would be laughing.
In the Christmas and Hanukkah and holiday spirit, sure.
You laughed a lot.
I did say I laughed a lot. I enjoyed parts of the movie. I don't think it's the greatest made movie ever. That's for damn sure. But I did laugh more than I would like to admit because, right? You know, I don't think it's a good movie, but I had an okay time. And I think it gets shit on a little bit too much.
Were you just laughing for my sake?
No, unfortunately not. I found a lot of it actually pretty funny.
I really enjoy Adam Sandler's sense of humor.
It's the 10-year-old boy in me. I'll state that I really don't like Adam Sandler very much at all. I find him insipid and irritating.
That's anti-Semitic.
Okay.
It's racist. You can't say that.
It's in my blood, I guess. I don't know what to say. I do. I find him insufferable.
The German in you's coming out full force today.
I find him insufferable.
Oy vey.
No. We shouldn't have started with this movie.
Maybe I had more fun than I would have admitted before I watched it, but I don't think it's very good. But I had a good time for the most part.
What year was it made, by the way?
2002. It was made. It was released, I think, in theaters early 2003, I believe. I'm not sure, but 2002 was when it was like drawn and scripted and acted out.
Okay.
Just before the PC police went extra crazy.
Yeah, I thought it would have been about 20 years ago.
Also, what about him is an Asian stereotype right out of the gate? Just the accent?
Oh, you mean the character who owns the Chinese restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, the accent, the way he looks is just all, you know. I think a lot of people would find that. I think a lot of people would find that very racist these days. I don't think you can get away with it.
There was actually no stereotypes surrounding that character that are stereotypically Asian, other than, you know, him being Asian and owning a Chinese restaurant.
I don't know, the way he spoke and the way he looked. I think, you know,
he had an accent.
Yeah, a stereotypical Asian accent.
Are the accents racist now?
I'm not saying they are, but I think some people might find it racist.
Well, they're stupid and wrong.
No, that won't stop them, though.
Those people exist. Asian people with accents are real.
Yeah, I know. I know
Why do you
they
hate
are.
them so much, Bane?
No, I don't hate them at all. In fact, I picked a movie with people with Asian accents, so there.
No, you picked a Japanese actual movie with subtitles.
Yes.
They don't have an accent speaking Japanese.
Well, the subtitles didn't have an accent, but they were, but the people in the movie did.
No, they don't. They're speaking Japanese.
Yes, they had a Japanese accent.
No, not unless they were speaking English.
No, everyone's got an accent. I've got an accent. You've got an accent. They had a Japanese accent.
No, they were speaking Japanese.
Yes, with a Japanese accent.
If we go there, we have an accent.
Yeah.
Couldn't they have been speaking Japanese with an Australian accent?
No, I don't think that's okay. Somebody needs to do
So,
that.
are you saying that I don't have an accent because I'm in my native country?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't walk around going, "Holy shit, that person has an Australian accent."
No, but I know that they do. I don't have to. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not shocked that Aussies
It's
have
not
Aussie
an
accent.
accent. If in Australia, that is not an accent. It just is. It's just the way.
Anyway, should we actually discuss movies, or we devolved into accent?
You
talk?
devolved us.
Dis-
It's your fault.
Disney's never going to buy us at this point.
No, because you hate Asian people with accents, apparently.
No, I picked the whole movie with
Actually, no,
Asian people with accents.
Disney would love us for that.
Well, there were rumors about Uncle Walt and the Nazi Party, but we won't go there.
Excuse me, I'm right here.
Okay, so should we run through the plot of 8 Crazy Nights? What little it has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone's a bad guy, and he learns the lesson of Christmas, and then he gets
Hanukkah.
A woman at the end, and everyone's happy.
It's actually got really little to do with Hanukkah, I guess. I mean, sort of.
Bane, let's be honest here and say that the base story itself can be, if you actually read it as a a script or whatever, is pretty heartwarming. Come on.
Yeah, come on. His parents died when he was 12.
Yeah, I mean, really. And the guy grew up to be an alcoholic, like just a piece of shit, basically.
Yeah, and that's why I thought the love interest was a bit harsh on him. I mean, she knew that his parents died when he was 12, so she.
Yeah, but at what point do you stop feeling bad for somebody?
She probably watched this guy devolve from the moment in the locker room to what he is now over 12 years, right?
And she was also only 12.
And who knows, she might have been really, really super kind to him up to the point where she was 26, 27, and then finally had enough. Because
I got the impression they hadn't really seen each other in many, many years, because he didn't recognize her at the start.
So, yeah, she probably...
I got the feeling they hadn't seen each other since they were kids.
Yeah.
So you can't use that excuse.
He went into foster homes, which means he may not have stayed in the area. And if he was shut down and she tried to stay in contact with him, but he didn't want anything to do with her anymore.
Well, that being the case here, I just got to say that, okay, so they haven't seen each other in years, and all of a sudden the guy's admittedly an asshole.
Yeah. But I think it's understandable why he's an asshole.
Oh, absolutely, but she doesn't understand. I'm sure she has an idea. Because she
knows his parents got killed when he was 12 because she was there.
A point where you have to stop feeling bad for somebody, though.
It doesn't change the fact that the guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, Whitey had sympathy for him.
Yes.
He was the last person to have sympathy for him. That was the idea.
Nobody else in the courtroom did. I mean, she looked pretty, she looks pretty forlorn and sad throughout the movie. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't think she enjoys picking on him, or.
I don't think she engages in picking on him. She just doesn't want him being a dick to her son or teaching her son how to be an asshole.
Yeah,
someone's got it.
I mean, come on.
It's the American way.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Is that the purpose of Hanukkah? Isn't that the message of Hanukkah? Am I thinking of something else?
you're thinking of something else.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Mistakes were made. But yeah, actually, this movie makes me cry.
Because it's that bad.
No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't pass
I
up
knew
that
it was coming.
opportunity.
I prepared myself emotionally for it. Yeah, the last like 10 minutes of this movie, they make me.
Yeah.
I get the fee-fees.
Well, I mean, you know what? The movie has a point, especially near the end. I mean, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Get out, right? So.
And some people do deal with really nasty trauma by turning into huge fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. But it was that very stereotypical Christmas story where someone has to learn the lesson.
Absolutely.
And then by the end of it, everyone's happy and they've all learnt the lesson. And I would have been happy with a big surprise halfway through, like he turned out to be a serial killer or something.
No.
And
so the deer having shit in their teeth for half the movie, it wasn't a surprise enough for you?
That was a nice touch. Yeah.
I love the narrator too. He makes me laugh.
We haven't really described the plot of the movie at all.
Well, that is the plot. No. His parents die when he's 12. He turns into an alcoholic and an asshole.
And there's deer with shit in their teeth.
Yeah.
The end.
Then they shit themselves.
Yeah. They literally shit themselves laughing.
Oh, that was funny. I admit that was funny.
You know why that was funny? It's because it was actually unexpected at that point.
Yeah.
Also, the movie makes fun of itself a lot.
It does. You know what? It knows it's a movie. I think you know what I mean. I think they were going for that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
When he's like, I start laughing immediately right out of the gate when he starts fucking his car.
I will admit, throughout the movie, there are a handful of very funny scenes. But in between the very funny scenes, there's just a lot of cringe.
Yeah, it's not you're taking it too seriously if it's making you cringe. It's just supposed to be funny.
Yeah, but I didn't find it that funny. Apart from, like I said, that handful of scenes.
Every time I name a scene, you're like, oh yeah, that was funny. Oh
yeah, a handful of scenes. You're not naming all the scenes in between, which weren't funny, but just cringy.
I'm leaving out
annoying Adam Sandler. This is probably the most annoying I've ever seen Adam Sandler.
That's, you know what? That's a technical foul.
Yeah, it is.
That's a technical foul. I wish I could break into song at this point. If I had the ability to just ad lib and break into song right now for 10 minutes, I would.
This is one of Adam Sandler's best movies.
Oh, I think we have to disagree there.
Come on.
Well, best is such a strong word.
Yes, I'll set the bar very high, really.
No.
I love Adam Sandler. I actually don't think I've seen a movie of his I don't like. So
how many have you seen? One?
I think I've seen all of them.
I hope not.
What was I just watching the other day? Where he's a hockey player playing golf.
Oh, Happy Gilmore. Yeah, that can be pretty funny.
I mean, I laughed the whole way through.
It's,
Click, I really liked. Made me cry in the theater. Yeah, I paid money to go see an Adam Sandler movie in the theater.
You're the only one.
Oh God, the theater was full. Fuck you. It was packed.
It's all a hologram.
Everybody was pissed because it made them cry.
I do remember actually a bit of a backlash about that movie. It lasted 2 or 3 days on social media. People were actually angry at it because
it gave them fever.
Angry because they were expecting just poo-poo, pee-pee, fart humor. But what they got was not what they were expecting.
Yeah, they got that and drama, just like 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, Click it's a comedy, but barely. It's a drama.
Yeah, I love Click. It's great.
One of those weird comedy dramas that's more drama than comedy. It's like Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy from 1995. People went in expecting a a straight up comedy, but what you get is basically the darkest of comedies you could imagine. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not comparing Click to Cable Guy because one is brilliant and one is kind of okay.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna mute my microphone. I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna hit you.
Why not hit me with the unmuted microphone?
Because the cord's not long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, we're not being very Disney. They're not going to buy us at this rate.
Well, no, you're racist.
Oh, wait, sorry. Adam Sandler is white, and he's great.
He's Jewish. That's anti-Semitic. You can't say that.
He's a white Jewish man, and he.
Oh, that's racist.
I need to stop these. These new YouTube rules.
We've said all the bad words.
Yes.
Actually, I think I straight up forgot to age restrict this stream too.
Oh, you have to do that individually? Okay.
I think I set it to the default, so I shouldn't have to, but I didn't double check after the last one, so we'll see when we're done. But we've said all the bad words at this point.
Yeah, we're not for kids.
No.
So
despite the animated Kool-Aid jar, we're not a cartoon.
No. Well, the Kool-Aid jar does have a skull in it. It's not,
It's animated, though. Cartoons are for children.
Well, children...
I'm not animated here.
You're a picture. You're a drawing.
Yeah, so are you.
No, I'm a picture of a person.
You are on the thumbnail.
Yeah, but I'm a picture of a human being.
That's racist.
Yeah, I hate Kool-Aid jars. Fuck you. Fat piece of shit. Didn't this movie teach you anything? Put on a bra.
That's cruel.
That's just.
It's one of my favorite mini story arcs in this fucking movie is that kid going to Victoria's Secret and buying a bra. Oh my god, it's so transphobic because he's in there and she goes, "Aren't you a boy?"
And then Miss Anon and I proceeded to assume genders for several minutes.
Oh yeah, whilst pissing ourselves laughing because A, did she just assume that little boy's gender, and did we just assume her gender?
I'm assuming the Twitter mob has never seen this movie.
Oh, they probably have, but it's one of those things. They can't really go hard at Adam Sandler because he's Jewish. It's anti-Semitic.
Oh, they do sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. If it ever got like real traction in the media now, if one of the big SJWs got wind of it and watched it again now, I'm sure there would be a shit fit on Twitter and social media about it. I'm sure for a lot of that kind of stuff. But they also have the married couple whose wife used to be a man. That was long ago.
I mean,
is it progressive? Is it transphobic? We don't even know.
Well, I'm scared. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm sure they fit into one of the 300 genders somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe more than one.
And I mean, you're not supposed to like Adam Sandler's character, Davey. You're not supposed to like him. He's an asshole. Everybody hates him. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I get that.
But it's funny.
I'm not confused about that. But I mean, obviously, by the end of it, you are meant to like him because he learns his lesson and he gets the girl, and it's the stereotypical.
Well, I mean, near the beginning of the movie, he does help the I forget the little boy's name, the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Helps him. He's pretty nice to him on the basketball court.
He is, and he
teaches him some bad habits, but that's okay.
He puts Whitey's hand in his pants. He fingers his own asshole. It's great.
That's very true.
Well, got some action. So
did that not make you laugh?
I don't remember. I think I was cringing too much.
My hand's in your mouth, kitty, but I don't feel any teeth. See?
seriously though, that's a legit question. What the fuck is with Whitey?
He is literally an elf in the real world.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. He's really very wholesome.
I think he's more like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings because he's short, he's round, he's hairy.
That doesn't explain his mental state, Bane.
Yeah, he's too nice.
Well, he's just senile. He's a senile dwarf.
Oh, but no, he was like that his whole life.
So he's always been a senile dwarf.
He was born senile.
I mean,
well, it may be possible that his parents were brother and sister, or at least first cousins.
Well, we never see his dad. We just see
no,
his mom.
but we see his sister, and that's quite terrifying.
She looks just like his mom.
Yeah, that's.
They sleep in separate bedrooms. We see that.
when the camera's around.
There's no camera. This is a cartoon.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Sorry. Do you think so? Do you think the animated world is real?
Why are you laughing at me? This is so cruel.
It could be. You don't know.
Rabbit was real.
Oh, we're talking about an animated movie. Does that mean that we're for kids now?
Yes, according to YouTube. However, I've age restricted it, so fuck you.
They're gonna be kids are gonna be terrified if they listen to this stream.
I'm trying to remember how old I was when I watched this because it was way inappropriate.
When you watched us?
No.
Oh.
When I watched it.
I was going to say we're doing it now, so unless you got a time machine.
It's highly inappropriate, but it's okay.
But
really, I think I was quite young. It was one of those. I used to sneak movies I wasn't allowed to watch all the time.
Yeah.
Not.
So you watched this when you were young?
I think I was quite young.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Fuck you! It was funny then, and it's funny now. Every scene I talk to you about, you're laughing.
Yeah, but you're not naming every scene in the movie. You're naming a handful of scenes.
No, that's most of the movie.
No, it's not. It's like 5 minutes of the movie.
It's not.
Oh, okay, 6 minutes.
It starts off immediately with him fucking his car.
Yeah, I didn't find that particularly funny.
Oh, well, you're wrong.
Well, it's a matter of opinion.
Your opinion's wrong.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
No, I am the fact machine.
We'll let the Twitter mob decide.
Oh, the Twitter mob's coming for you because apparently Asian men with accents can't exist.
Well, I am white, so it's automatic that they're going to come for me.
You should never have admitted that. Everybody would have thought you were red forever.
Well, I am if I go out in the sun for too long.
That's what happens to white people.
Yeah, I know.
They're exposed to the sun. Oh. I seriously, every couple of minutes there's something fucked up like that happening and it makes me laugh. I'm actually shocked you didn't find this movie as funny as I did.
No.
I thought we were friends.
We are.
I'm not sure anymore.
Well, I'm allowed to find something not amusing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grindhouse Nightmares too. It made me laugh.
Yeah, well, you wait until our next Torture Fest, then we'll see.
I'm gonna be not surprised if I end up finding yours very amusing.
Okay, we'll see. I haven't even watched it yet, but I think it's pretty bad.
But you thought Grindhouse Nightmares was really bad, so
because it was. It was terrible.
Yeah, but it was funny.
30 minutes of a guy crawling through a cave.
But it was funny.
Pretending to talk on the phone.
With a really bad guy heckling.
CGI rats.
Yes, but he was heckling him the whole way, which made me laugh.
Oh, okay.
The heckling made me laugh. Just like this movie makes me laugh.
Why are you doing this to me, mate?
Oh, come on.
You heard me. Why are you doing this to me, mate?
I think American Phoenix has the right of it, though. Whitey Duvall is an American treasure. Whitey's the Hobbit.
You mean he's been hidden in the cave somewhere for most of his existence? Yeah.
Hey, he knows how phones work. He had enough knowledge of technology to call and get phone sex.
So I guess we should actually describe the plot. So Adam Sandler is a guy who, when he was 12, his parents died in a car crash, and he went from foster home to foster home, and he turned very bitter. And as an adult, I think he's 32 now or something
30.
like that.
33.
30. Yeah.
30.
Ish.
He's now very bitter and an alcoholic, and he's constantly breaking the law, and he's been in trouble numerous times. And the judge says, "I've given you enough chances. I'm going to throw you in jail." And that's when Whitey steps forward, who's the volunteer coach for a kids basketball team, and he says, "I'll take him on and see if he changes in 10 days or something like that." So,
No. He has no. There's no time limit.
There's no time limit. Okay.
No time limit. He just said if you fuck around, you're going to prison for 10 years.
Oh, maybe that's where I got the 10 from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So Whitey, this bizarre dwarf
A squeaky little dwarf man.
creature who's 70 years old, tries to help Adam Sandler, but Adam Sandler's just shitting on him the entire time. And he eventually goes to live with Whitey and his Yenta sister, which is interesting. we haven't really talked about the sister yet.
Also, we like if you, the reason he ends up moving in with Whitey in the first place is because he kicks the shit out of a couple of guys at basketball, and he's very mad about it and burns his fucking trailer down.
Yeah.
Your beard.
So, yeah, by the end of it, Adam Sandler learns the lesson of Hanukkah / Christmas.
He learns to not be a huge douche.
Yeah, and he gets everyone in the town to appreciate Whitey, and then he gets the girl, and then it's the end.
It's unclear if he gets the girl. If they were threatened, Oh,
I'm pretty sure he gets the girl.
Probably.
Yeah.
Very nice to her kid.
Yeah.
I don't hate the trope when it's done well.
But I just want to hear Big do an impersonation of Whitey's sister.
Oh God, I don't think I can do that.
Are you not drunk enough?
No.
Oh damn!
Should have done this one last.
We'll come back to it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Plug your nose and talk. It's close enough.
Yeah, she was. Well, they're both twins, aren't they? Whitey and his sister. So she would have been in her 70s as well. She was totally bald, so she was wearing different wigs.
Yep.
She is also like 4 foot tall and round, and
with offset feet.
Yeah, and they were both very, very Jewish stereotype.
They're not though. They're not Jewish. They celebrate Christmas.
You sure they sounded like a Jewish stereotype?
But they're not. They celebrate Christmas.
Are you saying Jews aren't allowed to celebrate Christmas?
No, that would be a little bit fucked up, don't you think?
I'm pretty sure they can.
Pretty sure not.
Well, I'm an atheist and I celebrate Christmas, so.
Yeah, but we pretend Jesus doesn't exist.
Yeah, but Christmas isn't necessarily the celebration of Christmas of Jesus. It's all the other things along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not Jewish.
That is true.
They celebrate Christmas and they're not
okay.
Jewish. That's why he says at the very end, "Merry Christmas, Whitey."
Well,
Do
I
you
stand
even
corrected.
remember that part of the movie?
Unfortunately, I haven't memorized the entire movie because I was trying to forget it. But anyway,
Okay, at the end, the very end, the most like this, the all the sappy part that was probably making you cringe out of your skin. He asks Whitey to say "Happy Hanukkah" to him, and make him feel as good as when his dad said it. So he does, and then Davy says to Whitey, "Merry Christmas."
I was convinced they were like a stereotype of an old Jewish brother and sister.
No,
I think they might have been influenced by that, though.
probably.
Considering that Adam Sandler voiced one of them, I would say so.
Yeah. So if they're not technically Jewish, they're still Jewish stereotypes.
They're just sort of supposed to be old
I'm pretty sure Adam Sandler wrote it that way, though. I'm pretty sure he tied right into those.
Probably, yeah. I mean, yes, the characters are not Jewish, but I mean, yeah, technically you're not wrong.
Yeah.
They came across that way for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, they really did.
But they celebrate Christmas, god damn it.
And everything else on their front lawn too, apparently.
Oh yeah, they had Halloween decorations with Christmas decorations on them. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, hence why he had to work for $1 to clean all those shitters.
That fucking scene makes me laugh so much.
He's so mean to that old man.
He is, and it's funny.
Everyone is.
It's not funny when everybody else is, but for some reason it's funny when he does it. Makes me feel bad for him when everybody else is mean to him.
Oh,
well, he's too nice. That's his problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what happens to people who are too nice. They get shit on by everybody else.
Taken for granted.
Exactly.
Mm.
I think that's the whole point of the movie. The saccharine sweet. Don't take advantage of nice people.
I'm still not convinced he was a person, though. He might have been some genetic offshoot.
Maybe that's why
That's why he had that hairy ass, because that doesn't look natural.
My fingers in your mouth, kitty, but I don't feel any teeth.
That's Adam Sandler in a nutshell.
No. The poo-poo pee-pee jokes are very...
Are you telling me that a hairy old man shoving his finger up his asshole while he's sleeping is not a poo-poo pee-pee joke?
No, the poopsicle. The poopsicle was peak Adam Sandler, for sure.
Yeah.
He took a porta-potty ride, got turned into a poopsicle, and then got licked clean by a group of frisky deer.
That's true. You know what the most disturbing part of this evening has been for me so far? The amount of times I have said poo-poo pee-pee in a serious tone.
Thank you, Adam Sandler. If you haven't seen this movie, it's fabulous. It's hilarious. These guys don't know what to talk about. I mean, pretty much. There's not a hell of a lot to the plot. It is surprisingly saccharine sweet towards the end, considering the subject.
Who would have thought that a Christmas / Hanukkah movie would be like that?
I think it's done in a really good way. It makes me laugh consistently all the way through it.
Yeah, a lot of it made me laugh much more than I would have liked to admit.
It's great.
It's no bad Santa.
I mean, they're on similar levels. Come on, even the humor's similar.
Oh, I don't know. I prefer Bad Santa.
It has the same saccharine sweet ending.
When he's probably reeking of beer. I mean, well, okay, yeah, no, you got okay, yeah. No.
Stop being literally. It's the same fucking movie. Stop being a drunken asshole. Here's a kid. You need to like him. Helps the kid is no longer drunken asshole. Fuck you. It's the same movie.
Yeah, but Billy Bob's better than Adam Sandler. Come on.
Yeah.
This movie didn't give me the urge to method act and show up to work drunk like I did last year.
That's because we have to get up early tomorrow. Or else I know you'd be drinking, because that's the only way you can deal with Adam Sandler.
I mean, I have a beer, but
Well, that's fair enough. But drink faster.
well, that's not going to help. I mean, I have a beer. I don't have a dozen beers.
Oh, unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
So,
Wait.
any other comments about this movie?
The deer have shit in their teeth for like 30 minutes, which is great.
Yep.
Everything about this movie is hilarious. Bane does not like it.
It was a lot funnier than I've seen it before, but it was a lot funnier than I thought it was, to be completely honest. But I like that really stupid juvenile humor.
Me too. The poo poo pee pee sex jokes. I'm down. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, I certainly don't think it was the greatest movie, but yeah, I had a good time.
I love how it sneaks the serious subject matter in there. The movie makes you feel a little bit bipolar. Like 1 minute you're watching this 12-year-old kid have his parents die,
and the next minute
they're
shitting themselves outside of a stadium whilst old people are, using
fingering their assholes.
Yeah.
Oh God. When she comes out with the toilet seat cover around her neck.
I mean, you can take whatever meaning you want.
That was, I did like that. Like I said, I like the Enter character.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very weird. She was very
I
weird.
think you should watch this movie with people. I think it's
preferably with a couple of drinks, and then
I think it's funnier if you watch it.
Okay, but make sure they don't have any sharp objects. Is that what you're saying?
No. Sharp objects everywhere. Run with them, preferably.
Yeah. Encourage people to experiment with their bodies whilst giving them sharp objects.
Yeah, I think this is a great holiday movie. I need to purchase it now. I actually, when I picked it, didn't realize how funny I thought it was. Because it's been many years since I sat down and watched it. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. So, we can leave it now.
I mean, he does smarten up in the end, I guess.
Yeah, he learns his lesson after traumatizing that poor fat kid.
Yeah, well, that was actually legitimately kind of cool, but it was.
And yet I laughed.
Laugh.
Oh yeah, aren't you a boy?
And then we never see that poor kid again because
No, actually, we don't, do we?
No,
he probably went off and committed suicide. It's possible. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because it's really.
Yeah, I mean, not really, but yeah. The movie's not meant. You're not supposed to like him.
That's
when
true.
He's being that mean to people.
He didn't do that. That was just the woman at the store.
Yeah, but she probably didn't mean anything hurtful by it either, to be fair. I think she was just confused and shocked.
I mean, maybe he went off and embraced his titties. I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe he found out he was a woman.
He might have.
That first bra really perked them up, made them look nice.
Okay, so
on that note,
oh, you guys are killjoys. It's okay.
Me, I've been apologizing for this movie for the last hour.
It's very true. Bane's a killjoy. He doesn't have a funny.
I do, but I'm just not going to like everything that you like, and that's fair. I mean, I don't expect you to like everything I like. So,
I mean, you find Neil Breen funny, and he makes me want to kill myself. So
exactly.
Yeah. To be honest, I I did not have a bad time watching Eight Crazy Nights. I had a pretty good time. I really don't think it's a good movie in and of itself, but
Come on.
I had a good time watching it, I will admit, and it actually made me like belly laugh 2 times. So it really did. So I mean, it's generic, it's saccharine sweet, but you know what?
Don't expect too much out of it. It's just very funny.
Most of these Hollywood movies, these Hollywood holiday movies, which and Eight Crazy Nights is a Hollywood movie. It's a it's a Hollywood vehicle. It just follows a formula, and the formula can work really, really well. Or in this case, it can kind of work, but you see it coming. I think these types of films are best when you don't really see it coming, even when you see it coming, if that makes sense. It's just done in such a way that it just blows you away. I think a lot of these family movies do that. But no, I had a good time.
It's fun. Don't expect too much from it.
I suppose I would recommend it to people who like Adam Sandler and haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you get Adam Sandler's sense of humor, you'll enjoy it because it's very Adam Sandler. It reeks of Adam Sandler.
Oh, I get his sense of humor. I don't like it for the most part.
You laughed a lot. Don't even lie.
Yeah. Oh, Sandler.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm trying to think of a movie of his that I've seen that I don't like, and I'm having a hard time.
What about the one with Neil Breen?
Neil Breen's never been in a movie with anybody but himself.
Well, he doesn't need to.
No, it's just him and wigs.
Yep.
That's it. And broken laptops.
Yeah. Well, you go after broken laptops.
You know
Come on. That's the
I
problem with Adam Sandler. He doesn't have enough broken laptops.
It's true. You know what? I'll admit it. Neil Breen's very funny when you're not watching his films. Because making fun of him is very funny. That certainly makes me laugh.
So should we move on to the next movie, or is there anything else?
Oh, yeah, no. There's not much more to say about it. It's funny. If you like that kind of...
I think we've discussed the funny scenes, and we've gone through the plot, and we've disagreed over the quality of it, just like we did with Neil Breen, but that's okay.
Yeah, I love it. You guys are so wrong.
Oh, and she's muted and gone away. So, okay.
You guys are so wrong.
Should we do Jack Frost next?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a good segue.
That's kind of in between the two movies, because the other two movies, because it's still Christmas related, but is also horror.
Yeah. It's Jack Frost is a fun, ridiculous, extremely low budget comedy horror film from 1997.
Yeah, and we have to point out that there are two from that time period, aren't there?
There is 1997's Jack Frost, which is the one we are talking about tonight, and early 1998's Jack Frost, which is a Michael Keaton film.
Which are very, very different, I believe.
Very, very different. And there are a few stories. I haven't actually pulled any up for tonight like I wanted to. There are a few really hilarious stories on old forums, like old archived forums from the late 90s that are actually kept on this from people who rented Jack Frost from video stores, thinking it was Jack Frost, the saccharine sweet version.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be funny the other way around too, wouldn't it?
Oh, you know what it would be, I think. So yeah, there are two Jack Frost. So if you just Google Jack Frost movie, it'll definitely go to the Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they are completely different movies.
The Michael Keaton one's not bad.
The Michael Keaton one is the one with the good cast.
Well, yeah, It's the one with the good
actual actors in it.
Yeah, and Jack
No,
Frost is Jack Frost is the one with the cast.
Yeah.
That cast. Okay, so I want to get one thing out of the way here.
Yep.
I've actually kept this a secret from Miss Anon over 2, 3, 4, almost 5.
You keep secrets from me?
Oh yeah,
You're really a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. I mean, I was that little boy in that change room in Eight Crazy Nights.
That explains a lot, actually.
Ah.
This is why you like clothes more than me.
Maybe. Anyway, so Michael Cooney, the director of Jack Frost, actually went on several years later, after directing Jack Frost 2 in 2000, to write the screenplay, i.e. the script for Identity.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he actually wrote the script for that movie.
We can't spoil that one because it's coming up soon.
We won't spoil that movie, but he did write it. Now, Jack Frost.
Not to spoil that one. That's the one at the motel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one at the motel
with the criminal.
Yeah.
I have seen that. I think I saw it at the theater. In fact,
nice, good. Yeah, nice. I like that movie a lot. That was a good time. I like that movie. Yeah. Anyway, he went on to write that movie.
That's cool.
Now, that being said, Jack Frost and its sequel a few years later he knows what he's doing, right? Like, I'll just say that he knows that this is a bad movie.
Oh yeah, it's totally tongue in cheek.
It is tongue in cheek, 110%.
Yeah.
He had
the same way that Grindhouse Nightmares is tongue in cheek, but unlike Grindhouse Nightmares, I actually found Jack Frost entertaining.
Yes, Jack Frost is the better film, I must admit.
I think the jokes landed. They were both send-ups of horror movies, but the jokes in Jack Frost actually worked, and the movie was actually interesting, whereas Grindhouse Nightmares just missed the mark, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh no, that's fair. I mean, you really hated that movie.
I did.
Yeah. So I can't remember where I found this information. I'm trying to quickly look it up without losing my train of thought here. So Michael Cooney, the director, he basically made this movie for, and I am going to quote this, like I'm going to paraphrase this because I actually can't find it. But it does exist out there, and it's not too hard to find, I don't think. But I'm going to paraphrase. To paraphrase Michael Cooney, I made this movie for the cost of the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God, I'm drawing a complete blank here.
Oh no!
No! I made this movie for the cost of catering on most low-budget movies.
Wow.
So think about that for a minute. Take a low-budget movie, say, like really low budget. I'm talking like I'm talking like 50 grand at most, right? Like super, like 10 grand maybe.
Manborg.
Yeah, well, maybe not Manborg level. That was made for 2,000 Canadian dollars. That's right down. I'm talking maybe 50, maybe even 100,000, whatever. So let's say it was 100,000. He made this movie on the catering budget for that.
Wow.
Essentially, right? There's no real. I've listened to the commentary. I've researched this. There's no actual number on what this movie cost to make, but it was probably a pittance, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 US, maybe 10.
You can't tell. The acting's top class.
Yeah. You know what? It actually is. One character is top class acting, and I will give. I'm actually going to call this top class acting. It is the I can't remember his name. It is the fellow who played Jack Frost, the human form of Jack Frost in human form.
He was chewing up the scenery a bit, but that's perfect for this type of movie.
No, it is. I thought he was fucking fantastic. You look at him and you go, "Holy shit, that's discount Bruce Campbell."
It is.
It is. And then you think about his performance throughout the movie, and I'm actually going to give him major props for this because I mean, the guy's pretty fucking good. Like he just nailed it. Like, hey,
Is
bud,
that a snowman suit?
it is a suit. Yeah,
Is he in it?
he's in it for some of it, not for all of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, just that one line. Hey, buddy, how about a smoke? Like that. Like he actually It's really good. Like it's just that great cheesy delivery of that.
A lot of the one-liners were good in this. A lot of them were very, very cheesy, but that was kind of the point.
I thought he did it well. He did it. He knew what he was doing. Everybody else knew what they were doing too.
Yeah.
But he actually, it was really good. Like even when he takes off his handcuffs and the cuffs around his ankles, you know, like I guess deep fried Jack's off the menu for tonight, right? Just the great delivery. I love it. It's fantastic.
Of course, there is one famous or somewhat famous actress in the movie.
Kind of.
She wasn't famous at the time. I am talking about Shannon Elizabeth, I think her name is.
Yeah.
I instantly recognized her, and then I thought, fuck, what has she been in? I couldn't remember anything she'd been in.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Wasn't she in American Pie?
Yeah, she was. I looked it up.
Okay. I was trying to think, where did I recognize her from?
Yeah.
That would be it.
Just a couple of years after to be an American Pie.
Yeah, around the early 2000s, she was in a handful of movies, and
She was in like 13 Ghosts. I actually like that movie. I think she was in that.
Wasn't the receptionist in Jack Frost also in Twin Peaks?
The receptionist.
Yeah.
No. She's the receptionist in Jack Frost is the Adrienne Barbeau cheap ripoff.
Okay.
Exactly like Adrienne Barbeau. She is from, you might know her from Escape from New York and a couple
yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the woman with the big perm.
Yeah, she's not Adrienne Barbeau. She's fantastic in this movie. I like her, but she's no Adrienne Barbeau. That's for damn sure. She looks just like her though. It's uncanny. Really.
Yeah, I did pick that up. I did think for a second that does look like her, but she was obviously too young.
Yeah, way too young because this was 1997 and she looked, well, she was still fairly young, but she was in her late 30s in Escape from New York, and that was 14, 15 years prior. So yeah. But yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious to see her. When I first saw this movie, I was still a teenager, and that was after I saw American Pie. So
her death is the funniest one, I think.
Oh yeah. Most of the deaths in this movie are fantastic. They're hilarious.
She's definitely in it for acting. That's
Oh yeah, just amazing acting. Oh my god, Oscar worthy.
Oh yeah,
definitely nothing to do with the way she looks. But,
no,
certainly not.
How dare you suggest that, you fucking misogynist?
I didn't suggest it. I said she's definitely not in it because of her looks.
My sarcasm detector.
Anyway, from what I gathered, I think we all really like this movie for what.
Oh yeah, there was a distinct lack of puns.
There were a few, not as many,
but not as many as there could have been. And there was that one really missed opportunity that we were talking about when we watched it.
Okay, so I think
we'll get there.
We'll start talking about the plot, which is there isn't a heck of a lot to this movie.
Murderer Jack Frost gets melted by genetically modifying acid that fuses him to the snow and he turns into a snowman. And he goes on a killing spree in a tiny town. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. There's a murderer whose legal name apparently is Jack Frost. I would assume that was his serial killer name that he went by, as serial killers do.
I assume there are actual people out there called Jacob Frost or Jack Frost.
Oh, I'm sure. But I just find it a little bit funny, just considering the movie. But yeah, he's a serial killer who's killed, I think, what was it, 34, 35 people?
A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot.
The plot reminds me a little bit of Shocker. Do you remember that one?
I remember Shocker, 1989, Wes Craven.
Yeah, what a fucking shocker that was.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys need to not talk about your porn preferences on air, okay?
Certainly do, and I will thank you not to shame us.
No means no. We've been over this.
Shocker is a porn preference.
Oh,
Is
please
that like
tell me you know what a
car
shocker
battery?
is. Please tell me you know what a shocker is.
Car
Hey!
battery porn?
No!
No.
No,
I'm thinking of someone hooking a car battery up to their nipples. Well, I don't know.
No! Okay. You guys keep talking about the movie. I have to educate you.
well, how can we talk about the movie if you're educating us about some?
No. You know what a shocker is.
Yes.
Thank you.
First hand or
No.
Oh, educate you, not you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Babe needs educating. Okay. It's coming in a moment. I'll send it
is
to
that
you
is that
on Discord. Yeah,
I'm-
I mean it's coming. Just I'm so disappointed in you actually. I've been disappointed in you a lot today.
anyway?
I've
Continue
educated
talking
you.
about
There you
Jack
go.
Frost. Why?
So Jack Frost is scheduled for execution at midnight, and the movie.
Oh, I've never heard it called that before.
Really,
Found it.
really, I'm shocked.
Well, what's it called in Australia? The oh crikey, bitch!
Anyway, we are trying to be bought by Disney, so we shouldn't.
I mean, there's a reason I didn't screen share it.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying not to be too controversial this episode.
Genuinely, you've never heard of Two in the Pink, One in the Stink. I'm so shocked.
I have heard of that. I just haven't heard it called Shocker.
Have you seen? Do you know what the Spock is?
The what?
the Spock.
The Spock.
Yeah. It's probably exactly what you're thinking.
Oh, sorry, you're Australian. Not the Spark, the Spock.
No, I had to check because I thought she might have said the Spark because she was just thinking of the Shocker.
Oh wow, I was actually correct. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
No.
definitely pick on you and
So I don't need a car battery for this. What's going on?
No, the Spock is.
well, I mean,
Make the Spock hand.
Yeah.
Now think about it.
Yeah, I get that. I've just never heard it called the Spock before.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I've never thought of it.
you just kind of do it, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just try to do it.
It's sex ed with Missing On all over again.
It's what?
Can you imagine? It's sex ed with Missing On. Can you imagine Missing On giving a sex education class right now? Half
Well, okay. This happened on the Cunt Stream ages ago. Samaj Drupi is teaching a sex ed class because how do you men not know these things? What's wrong with you?
Do you know what pumpkin pie is? Blumpkin pie?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, damn.
Also gross.
Yeah, I know. It is gross.
Why?
I didn't say I'm into it.
Why did you say that?
I didn't think you'd know what it was. That's all. Anyway, can we get back to Jack Frost?
Well, clearly you need help here. Okay, well, Jack doesn't die. He turns into a snowman.
Well, no, he does. Now, I can't be the only one of us that found the execution prison vehicle barreling through the snow at whatever hilarious on its own. But then the nuclear waste vehicle barreling towards it, also in the snow on the same highway.
Yeah, that happens all too often, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, certainly only in America. I don't know.
Are we really going to pick out the plot devices in this movie?
A little bit, yeah, because it knows what it's doing. I think it knows that that's ridiculous.
Come on, the Hulk wouldn't have any villains if that wasn't a plot device.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, he was so close to the town with the little sheriff that just happened to catch him, and oh yeah,
I know.
Wasn't he also driving along the same road with his family, I think?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
And then the FBI agent was like, "Hey, this is official government business," and the police officer who's who just caught this killer was like, "Oh, okay, sorry, sir." I found that a little bit funny. But anyway, yeah, I can't be the only one that remembers the Hulk number 4,884 when he fought Jack Frost.
Well, yeah, the nuclear accident that caused someone to get superpowers, as opposed to slowly die in agony. It's fairly common, more common than you think in the Marvel universe.
Well, it is, and I'll quote Jack by saying, "This is gonna hurt," which he delivered. I really love this actor.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, his name's Scott McDonald. I told Miss Anon that it was his only acting role, which I knew wasn't true, but it's his only acting role in a film, really, when it comes right down to it. There have been a couple others here and there as bit parts. And Jack Frost too, of course. But for the most part, he just played little tiny bit parts throughout movies, up to and including this year.
I think a lot of actors do that. They probably make a very, very good living just doing little bit parts.
I think Scott McDonald, I think he makes a very handsome living doing what he does. Probably I don't think he's like exceedingly wealthy doing what he does, but he's only 60 years old today. So you think about it, he was only 38 when he made this movie.
And I'm sure you guys have had the same experience. If you go and watch a movie you haven't seen in, say, 10 or 15 years, and then you'll notice all the bit part actors in it who have since become famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's freaky because I didn't know such and such was in that. I mean, I've seen it 100 times, but
yeah, and then all of a sudden they're your next superhero or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Now in the I don't know, 5 or 10 years since you've seen it, that actor's become huge.
Yeah,
and then you suddenly, that's it's weird when that happens. It happens all the time.
I remember, it was like that with, what's that movie? It's a recent movie, Snowpiercer, with, what's his name? Chris Isaac or whatever? Captain America, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really kind of cool to see. It's like, holy shit, he's just, really good actor in this movie, Snowpiercer, and then all of a sudden he's fucking Chris Evans. That's it, yeah. All of a sudden he's Captain America. Yeah, it's just one of those things. That's a smaller time frame than what you mentioned. But yeah, I certainly know what you mean.
Well, earlier this year I watched Blade 2, and I was shocked to see what's his name, Norman Reedus?
Yeah.
The Walking Dead is in it.
And he had a big part in that movie too, and it was
sorry?
I sound like him.
Yeah, same here, but
Norman Reedus.
I've seen Blade 2, dozens of times. It's a great movie, but I hadn't watched it since I've been watching The Walking Dead, and I didn't realize that he was in it. And when I watched it again, I thought, shit.
Isn't that weird? And you know what? That movie was even before the Boondock Saints. Like, right? Like, such a...
2001, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then Blade 2, it was the same with me, actually. I love the Blade series. I love comics. I just love Blade in general. I'm a huge fan. So Guillermo del Toro's Blade 2 is it's one of my favorite action movies. I didn't even notice that, and I watched the first season, or the second season rather, of The Walking Dead. It was kind of the same, and I went back to watch Blade 2, and I went, whoa, that's the same guy that was in Boondock Saints and this movie. Whoa, I had a fucking a complete ridiculous Keanu Reeves moment. Like, whoa.
I actually like Blade 2 the best out of the three, I think.
I love Blade 2. Yeah, it was it was so kinetic, and just the camera movements, everything, the cinematography in that movie. I think Del Toro has a lot to do with that as the director. Yeah,
no doubt. I thought the first one was a good introduction to the Blade universe.
The first one is fantastic too. I love that movie. It does. Think about it. This is a movie made in 1998, and just look at what came out. Like, it's a comic book movie from 1998. It's still one of the best comic book movies ever, in my opinion.
Oh, it's no Spawn.
Oh yeah, the prior year Spawn. Yeah, I mean,
That hasn't aged well.
oh no, God, that didn't age well 3 years after it was made.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blade 2. Oh man, that's there are a lot of filmmakers that can learn a lot from Blade 2 when it comes to adapting comic book or any medium, to be honest. Have respect for the source material and have respect for yourself and just do your own thing with it, but don't be an asshole and change everything. I think Del Toro did it perfectly, more than any other director with that.
I think the third Blade movie was a bit of a letdown, though. It was still good, but nowhere near as good as the first two.
I liked it. If I were to give the first one a 9 out of 10 and the second one a 10 out of 10, the third one would be a nice solid 7.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you were rating the first two, I was thinking, yeah,
it's a solid 7, maybe a 7.5. I liked it. It was good. I watch it from time to time and have a good time, but it just, there's something missing.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Jack Frost.
That was a segue. Anyway, talking about any of Del Toro's movies just sends me into off a tangent. I love his stuff. So, anyway, where was I?
The actor who played Jack Frost.
Oh yeah, Scott McDonald. Yeah, just I don't know. He just delivers. He carries this movie, obviously, as the title character. Everybody else is just kind of throwaway. They know what they're doing. At least in the sense that they know that they're making a schlock movie, so they're in on the joke. I get the feeling that every actor,
you can't make a movie like this and not be in on the joke.
Yeah, they're all in on the joke, and that's what makes this movie pretty good in my mind.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie by any stretch of the mind, but it succeeds in what it's trying to do. So I guess it is good.
Yeah, it's a good schlock send-up.
Yeah. So where are we in the plot here? I guess.
Well, we already sort of discussed him turning into the snowman.
Yeah. He turns into a snowman, and he starts killing people.
Yeah.
The end.
Okay, starts killing people in a town named called Snowminton. Downtown Snowminton.
I mean, his first kill is an old man who I like that the doctor knows that he had something held over his face that was soft like a mitten. That was hilarious.
It's just great. I love the one. I don't know if I can describe this properly, but I love the one young cop who is constantly cracking wise at every.
Oh yeah, he's us.
Yeah,
he is the audience. He's like rocking the old man's chair with his foot while he's acting.
Yeah, there's this great shot. That's actually a really cool shot where the first murder victim, you see his head just rocking back and forth, just on the bottom of the camera, I guess, our view. And then there's one cop, two cop, three cops, the sheriff in the middle. It's kind of that point of view. It's almost a point of view from the old man's perspective. And I guess they're just discussing how he died. But this younger cop is just rocking the rocking chair that he was on, I guess on his front porch. And then we, the audience, kind of get that. And then the sheriff goes, "Will you stop rocking the chair? Get your foot off the chair." Like, it's hard to explain. You have to watch it to really get it.
It really does feel like us, the audience, because like it's you can't take it seriously, so he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this little gremlin, and this cop is like a little gremlin in the background all the time, just keeping this ridiculous movie grounded as it can be, because like it's fucking stupid. So
yeah, I mean the main killer's a snowman.
Yeah, he's a sentient killer snowman who can melt at will and then reform.
That's obviously cool.
Yeah.
Admittedly, that's kind of cool. He can melt and refreeze at will.
Yeah, no, that is cool. That's a really neat concept.
It's interesting.
Well, it's kind of essential because he couldn't really do much otherwise. I mean, he couldn't get in someone's house, could he?
No,
He's freakishly strong, so that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
according to the
Don't-
doctor, he's freaking.
Well, yeah, he shoves that axe straight down. He must have been freakishly strong. Also, he snapped that old man's neck with his hand
Yeah.
backwards.
So this the sheriff is the sheriff of this little town, Snowminton, Snowy State, U.S. Is the one that actually caught Jack Frost as a human, and on the way out of the courthouse when he's being sentenced to death, I guess the judge just sentenced him. Jack Frost screams right in his face and goes, "I'll find a way. I'll kill your family. You'll regret this." So obviously, this is very cheesily haunting this small town sheriff who keeps having ridiculous flashbacks about it. So I guess after the first killing of the old man, he starts to suspect something isn't right.
Oh, because it's weird.
Well, yeah, it's weird. So I
Who
mean,
puts a mitt on to kill somebody?
and what happens in Snowminton? I mean, come on.
The Snowman Festival.
I mean, that's true. Oh, I should mention that this movie was filmed. I can't remember what state it was filmed in, but it was really, really fucking hot.
Yeah, you can actually see in certain shots the heat lines coming off the pavement.
Yeah, all of the snow is fake, and I don't mean fake snow made from a snow machine. I mean like foam and fake snow from like your local Poundland or dollar store or whatever you want to call it.
The snow is very hairy.
Yeah, it's very fuzzy.
Fuzzy snow.
There's one scene where the sheriff goes into the sheriff's office or the police station, I guess, and the actor actually kind of trips over the fake snow. And I guess they either didn't have the money to reshoot it or just went, fuck it, let's leave it in.
I mean, it's a little funny.
It is a little funny, but you actually see the snow, which is
Jump off the ground. Yeah.
It's a little bit, yeah. Even the snow, it's the same stuff that the sheriff and his wife's their son he uses to put on the gingerbread cookies that he makes.
Yeah. It actually it looks like shredded coconut.
Yeah, it could be
shredded coconut. I mean, it's too big to be actually shredded coconut. It's like big shredded coconut.
Probably just milled cotton or something.
It's something.
All the snow is fake, and I just remember listening to the commentary years ago. It was really, really hot during filming. Like, I'm talking like well over 30 degrees Celsius.
Well, that's why the snowman kept on melting.
Yeah. There you go. So I can just imagine this.
An odd bit of real snow for certain shots, like when they have to interact with it or touch it. When he puts the tit on the snow on his snow woman, and it's real snow on top of their fake snow, it's quite funny.
Yeah. We're not really describing the plot very well here, but there isn't much of a plot.
Not really.
No, I just remember hearing it was well over 30 degrees in whatever state they were in, like probably 35, 36 degrees. So pretty fucking hot, right?
Yeah, there are certain shots where it's like, oh, holy crap, you can see lines.
Yeah, and you can just see behind them that there's a palm tree in one shot. So it's got to be a southern state, right? So, and you can see just people driving around in the background in this hot ass fucking asphalt, you know, and it's a little tiny set with a little bit of fake snow around it. They're trying so hard to keep everything else out of focus.
Oh yeah.
There's only so much you can do with a catering budget. So
I think that's why a lot of it was shot at night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
I thought it succeeded. I think the scene where I forget the sheriff's son's name, but where he's putting the eyes and the nose on Jack Frost as a snowman, it looks pretty convincing. It looks like winter.
Oh, yeah.
So how much shredded coconut can you buy with a catering budget?
Well, I mean, enough to frost a few cookies, I guess. I'm sure that the rest of the snow was just clay.
That sounded like a euphemism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, there were porn stars.
Yeah. It's always porn stars.
Yeah.
I'm sure more than a few cookies were frosted during the making of this movie. So anyway.
So how do they kill Jack at the end?
Oh well,
Attempt to kill him.
we blow him up, of course.
Oh, the heat. Yeah.
I love when he chases with the fucking hair dryer. It's great.
I think we're led to believe that Jack has been defeated no less than 2.5 times during the movie. The first, I think, is the hair dryers.
No, the explosion.
Sorry?
The explosions first.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
The explosions first.
Yeah.
Then they put him in the furnace.
Ah, yes.
Also, we have to talk about the best death in this movie.
Well, all the deaths in this movie are great. The kid being decapitated by the sled is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like the sheriff's son in that instant. I didn't do it. That's it. The first thing he said, I didn't do it.
Wasn't me.
Oh, it's just ridiculous.
And we get the guy getting the axe shoved all the way down his gullet.
Handle first.
Yeah. His wife, she gets very pretty. She's the prettiest bird. Actually, that one makes me cringe.
That actually made me cringe. Yeah.
He puts a glass ornament in her mouth and then smashes her mouth closed.
Whoa.
Every time makes me cringe because I could feel it.
Yeah. And the music in all of these kill scenes is hilarious. This movie, it does not take itself seriously at all.
Super upbeat, like Christmassy sounding jingly music.
Yeah. It almost has like a Hawaiian theme to it almost. It's very
a little bit. It is weird. And then I think this is when Tommy dies. He gets a couple icicles to the body.
Oh yeah, I can't quite remember the puns. Kind of a batter up pun, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So this movie does miss a lot of puns. There should have been way more puns.
There should have been more puns. And we're finally getting to the missed opportunity. The joke that would have made this movie the best movie.
Okay. So what's his name? Tommy?
Tommy.
Okay, so Tommy is fixing to get busy with what's her face?
I don't remember her name either. It's
Jill.
Elizabeth?
Jill. Oh, there you go.
Her name's Jill. Okay, so Tommy's, Jill. Oh man,
She's horny.
So the kid who got killed, decapitated, was her brother, who's Jill's brother. So she's 17, 18, whatever, or 16, whatever. It's just she's got a shitty life at home. Her dad's a fucking asshole, probably at the best of times. So this is the worst of times. So her dad's being a real fucking asshole. So she goes out to get fucked, basically.
And then her parents die.
Well, yeah, she doesn't know that, though.
No, she doesn't know that, but her parents die like right after that.
In the meantime, yeah. So she meets her boyfriend or just boy toy for the evening or whatever, Tommy. So they go to the sheriff's house to fuck for whatever reason. Nobody's home.
There's a curfew, so there's nobody there.
Yeah, nobody's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out. The sheriff's out, obviously. Everybody else is at the gym sleeping community style because there's a curfew because there's a killer on the loose.
The church.
Or the church, rather. Yeah. So, they start to get busy, and then she goes, no, wait.
You have to get me drunk first, even though I'm horny.
Does the woman thing. Whatever. Goes into the shower or blow dries her hair.
She's blow drying her dry hair, people. Drying her dry hair. It's fabulous. She's got the radio on and a blow dryer in her hair,
which is completely bone dry, but
yes,
she's drying it anyway. And then proceeds to go into the bathtub, which is already full.
She says, "Thanks, Tommy."
Yeah. Yeah.
She thinks that he's run a bath for her, which is, I suppose, nice.
Yeah, he's a ninja. He snuck in without her looking. And,
she wasn't in the bathroom. She was in a bedroom.
So it was the ensuite bathroom, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have. It actually makes sense.
Yeah, it was out in the hallway.
Yeah.
That was the main bathroom, and she was in. Yeah.
We should point out at this point, Tommy's got an icicle through the skull. So
yeah, he's pretty dead.
Yeah.
So she starts freaking out a little bit because she thinks he's dumping cold water into the tub with her.
So yeah.
But it's not. It's just liquid Jack.
Yeah, she is bathing in Jack at this point.
That's how she got the job.
Yeah. Right. So there's a little bit of exposition here, which is fantastic. There's a carrot that moves in the water, and we see it very, very suggestively pass by her midsection.
He totally rapes her with his carrot nose, but it does not stay on his face while he's doing it.
Yeah. So he rehardens. He reforms into the snowman with the carrot where you think it would be, and proceeds to rape her to death.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious somehow. You wouldn't think so. Because
only because it's a giant snowman.
Well, yeah, and the upbeat music is playing at the time.
Yeah. And her arms are like sticking through his body.
Yeah.
Because he refreezes around her.
Yeah.
So he pulls the carrot off of his cockle area and puts it back on his face. And he does not make a joke about it smelling like pussy. And I was so disappointed.
Yeah. It was a huge missed opportunity.
Such a missed opportunity. It could have been anything. Like,
hey, come on, this is a classy movie. I don't know what you're expecting from it.
It just could have been like, oh, it smells like fish in here. Like something. Anything.
Something smells fishy.
Yeah, anything. That it needed the pun.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, something like just something off the wall that barely makes sense. Like, sorry, Tommy's gone or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anything. Like,
just.
It's like,
man, there needed to be some kind of fishy pussy joke, and it wasn't there. And it was such a missed opportunity. And if I could tell the director that, he'd probably agree with me.
Probably.
He'd be like, "Oh, damn." I should have done such a thing. Yeah. Oh well. I suppose.
Yeah.
So who dies next?
Did we mention this show's not for kids? Just in case coppers listening, they may be confused. They may think it's for kids, but
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's not.
Pay no attention to the animated Kool-Aid jar in the corner.
Yeah. With lines such as "This carrot smells like pussy," I'm not sure how you think it's not for children.
Well, we're talking about cats, obviously.
Yeah. I guess.
Cats love fish.
And carrots.
I have to mention that despite this film's small budget, it actually looks pretty nice. It's not super grainy. It's not like there's some shots that are actually pretty neat. Like there's one where they clearly put water on the lens when they're examining a little bit of Jack's water that they left behind. I'm not sure if you remember that shot, Babe, but it's just a neat looking shot where you see the sheriff and one other person, or not the sheriff, the FBI agent and his protege, just through like a lens of moving water.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember that shot.
No, I thought that was just neat. I just think it's a really nice looking movie despite its budget. Like
they just basically put water on a piece of glass and then put the camera underneath it so they could he put that glowing thing into the water and it was all wibbly.
Yeah, it was just a nice little shot that you really. There are a lot of shots in this movie that you just don't find in such a low budget movie.
I've always said you can make a really nice looking movie if you're creative.
Yeah, and they had and I think that all of these people, you can tell that they're just having a blast making this movie, and I think it's an amalgamation of everybody's ideas. Okay, well, what about if we do this? Or well, that didn't work. Maybe we should, I think it's just a labor of love for everybody involved. So, because it's clearly this movie, I don't think it was made for profit. I think it was, just judging from the commentary, it was made pretty much just for fun. But apparently it was a pretty rough shoot too.
Well, yeah, if it was
How
that
long was it?
The shoot? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Just based on the commentaries I've heard, the shoot was 4 months.
Wow.
How
Yeah.
many people got heat stroke in that time?
Well, yeah, there's that to consider. Probably quite a few. It's way kind of too long for a movie like this, but I think it's just something that the director and everybody involved just wanted to deliver something that was, I mean, quote unquote good. And I think they succeeded because the movie knows what it is. It's just
I was never bored.
No, it's just a schlocky, ridiculous movie.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I think
technically it's a send up of schlock, though, isn't it?
It is you know what? It is a send up.
Schlock is usually unintentionally schlock.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
And this is very much got its tongue in its cheek, so it's
100% tongue in cheek. Absolutely, yeah. And it does it well, though. It's a cheap movie, and it looks and feels cheap for the most part. But there are scenes that don't feel cheap.
But I don't think it would work as well if it didn't look somewhat cheap, because schlock is cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the key things of schlock is that it's cheap, low budget shit. That's what makes it great.
Yeah. It makes it. That's what gives it its charm and makes it a good time for freaks like us that actually enjoy it. So.
Yeah, I mean it's good because it's bad. That's what good schlock is. But so if you made something like Jack Frost with a $20 million budget or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It wouldn't look like schlock. So it wouldn't actually be sending up schlock. So it would fail.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like this has to be done on the cheap, or at least made to look like it's on the cheap.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can still make a good movie with good shots and be artistic and creative.
Yeah, there are plenty of creative shots. Just the close up, like even when that I can't remember her name, but that fella's wife dies, gets strung up on the tree and has the ornament smashed in her mouth. It's another one of those great shots where the camera is set inside the Christmas tree where she is. It looks like it's her mouth, and you just see the sheriff and these two bumbling cops discussing the crime scene for a few minutes.
I love him eating the Tic Tac.
I can't even remember what the bumbling cop says. The cop who's supposed to be the audience, but he eats it's not a Tic Tac, it's a Pez. He's got a Pez dispenser.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's just, I don't know. I find that to be such a.
It's very funny.
Yeah, like the sheriff's being like, "Yeah, I need you to keep it together. We got a job to do. Don't freak out." And then, he's giving them orders. And then this cop who made the joke about, or not the joke, who was, something about the 12 days of Christmas. Like, I think we should, make her one of the 12 days of Christmas gifts or something. Like, and then he eats a Pez from his Pez dispenser. And that's it. Like, it's just such an irreverent, strange scene. And it's hilarious.
So did anyone write down some of the one-liners? I didn't. I kind of wish I did.
I wish I did too. There are some good ones. I mean, I guess I could. I think I have. Yeah, I have the movie playing. So I mean, it's gonna take a while to find some, but there aren't a ton. Some of them are kind of missed opportunities, I think. But
yeah, but there were a couple which were, I thought, really good. I just can't remember.
Yeah, no, neither.
I wrote them down.
Me too. Yeah, I wish I would have done that. But I mean, I guess this is a good encouragement for people to go and actually watch the movie.
Yeah, you'll just have to go watch it.
So they eventually try to kill him. So they blow him up. They think they killed him with hair dryers, which I thought was quite funny.
That was great.
Well, they tried to blow him up. They tried to blow him up in the jailhouse first.
Yeah,
that's what he discovers. They don't think they killed him with blow dryers. They use the blow dryers to push him into the furnace.
Ah, yes.
Ah, okay. Technicality. Yeah.
No, it's not a technicality. They didn't kill him with blow dryers. They used them to lure him somewhere. There's a big difference.
And then the way they finally kill him, I thought was quite interesting.
Especially because that kid almost killed his father.
Yeah.
Also, how did the mother not realize that this kid had put fucking antifreeze in oatmeal? What kind of parent is she?
I've never tasted antifreeze.
It's sweet. It tastes like sugar.
I was just about to say, isn't it meant to be sweet?
Yeah, it tastes sweet. That's why.
Because I mean, obviously, I don't need antifreeze where I'm living. You know, we don't have snow. But I've heard that it's really sweet, and I think I've heard that sometimes animals eat it and they die because it's sweet.
Kids and dogs.
Yeah, so I mean, if you did put it in breakfast cereal, would someone notice?
Probably not if it was something already really sweet, which, I mean, the oatmeal, he's got marshmallows and shit in there. Literally, quite literally could have killed him. Like, seriously, what kind of mother is she? Way to go, Mom. Your kid has clearly got access to antifreeze and doesn't realize that you can't fucking eat it. It's a wonder that kid's still alive.
Maybe he was in an accident with some nuclear waste and Jack Frost 2 or 3 or part 8.
One, but
hey? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But it's actually Jack Frost again. Well, yeah, it alludes to it at the end.
Yeah. Well, there is a Jack Frost too. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way they kill him is with antifreeze at the end, which I thought was very clever. So they.
Yeah, that was great.
Also, him rolling around in the antifreeze, all I could keep thinking was that antifreeze is a corrosive and his skin would be on fire.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got to interrupt here. When the salesman from the hardware store discovers the wife's body when Jack Frost is killing her, and Jack just looks at him and goes, "Oh, and what's your name, little boy?" It's just ridiculous. That's the only one I remember. Unfortunately, it's hardly a one-liner, but that gives you a taste of just the
fun schlock.
Yeah, it's just a good time. Everything's Christmas related, and
the only Christmas movie we chose was a Christmas slasher.
Yep,
it's a good choice.
Supernatural, well, not really supernatural. It's atomic, isn't it?
Yeah. 100% based in the real world.
Yeah,
I do like that when they bury him in the antifreeze bottles.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
I was wondering throughout the movie that if you broke him up, would that stop him?
Oh yeah, kind of like oh god, yeah. I was thinking that when I first saw it, like when I was like really young, I was thinking like the T-1000 or something.
Yeah, like if you broke him in half or something and you bottled half of him, would that stop him, or would both halves have Jack's intelligence?
Well, I think we kind of got that when the explosion happened, because he had to find pieces of himself.
I guess
that's one of the one-liners. Look, Ma, I'm a Picasso.
So his intelligence is spread over all these bits.
Yeah.
No, I think the bits, I think he can sense them, but without them, he's not. Like, he knows they're part of himself, but I don't think they move in with. Oh yeah, they do, because the arm comes to life at the end.
Yeah.
That answers that question. Yes.
I guess.
So his arm's sentient, just like the rest of it.
Maybe it's like a piece of the thing or something from.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Kind of sentient, but not quite. Not the central being, but part of it. Yeah.
I mean, listen to us try to work out the mechanics of this schlock comedy, but yeah. So I was wondering about that, and then he separated at the end in different bottles with the antifreeze, which I thought was a nice touch. I don't think I would have buried them all together.
Yeah. You'd think you would learn, right?
Yeah, and I might have buried them in concrete, just to be sure.
Yeah, lots of concrete, lots and lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 feet under, 6 feet around.
Yep. Yep.
But no, I mean, there has to be Jack Frost 2, which is subtitled Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman.
and what was the budget on that one?
Probably about the same. I remember correctly. Yeah, small on purpose at that point. But I think he had access to more money at that point and was just like, no, this is our budget. And if we go over it, well, I guess we don't make the movie then, right? So,
big gold the first time. So,
no, it's good. It actually is. It's legitimately good because it knows what it is. And,
Does it have much of a cult following?
It gained one a few years ago when the production studio, or the Blu-ray studio, I guess, called Vinegar Syndrome, they mostly produce porn and sleaze movies on Blu-ray, like forgotten stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. In late 2016, I believe it was, they brought it to Blu-ray, and then the cult following really.
I see.
But there always was a bit of a cult following. It was one of those VHS movies in the late 90s. I don't know if you remember these, Bane. They had those really cheap, thick cardboard boxes, the same size as any other VHS box, but they had ridiculous hologram on the front.
Oh, yeah. The 90s were a time of holograms.
Yeah, you look at it from one angle and it's something else. So you look at it from the left and it's a nice, happy-looking snowman, and then you tilt your head to the right around the box and it's Jack Frost, the evil snowman. It's a gimmick.
It was the 90s that comics had all the hologram covers.
Yeah, all those ridiculous hologram shit.
Which added to the collapse of the comic market.
Oh, man, did it ever, because Image Comics and everybody else wanted to get into that. So,
every time they'd start a new series, they'd release 5 different covers. You had to get the gatefold cover, the silver cover, the fucking hologram cover,
the puke colored cover. Yeah, you name it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even just for the first issue. It was for every goddamn issue. So yeah. That's why it was meant to. It's a cheap movie that they just sent to video stores for free, basically, and it was just meant to catch your eye. And I guess it succeeded because there was definitely enough of a cult following to basically demand a Blu-ray release of this movie. Because, clearly it needed it. I'm glad they did it because, it's a lot of fun. I really actually like this movie. It's not good, but it's great. If that makes sense.
Do you think the Tom Hanks movie, the producers regret picking that name?
You mean Michael Keaton?
Oh, sorry, Michael Keaton. Sorry,
Tom Keaton.
No,
Michael.
No, there's
Hanks.
so many Jack Frost movies.
I don't think they.
Yeah, but they're so close together. They're easy to confuse.
I think they might. I kind of recall hearing something about that. I bet you somewhere. I bet you there is a producer of the Michael Keaton version, that Michael Keaton film, rather, not version. I think it's the same movie or something.
When you Google it, the other one doesn't even come up. I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah, I think it's such a small movie.
They don't give a shit. Also, you get Jack Frost, that one, and the weird CG one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's so many Jack Frost movies. I don't think they give a shit.
Well, I think they should release the 2 Jack Frost together on a Blu-ray just to piss everyone off.
That would be hilarious. I would buy the shit out of that.
A Jack Frost collection. Yeah, just on principle, right?
Yeah. No, just with those 2 on it.
Yeah, you would buy that. Just on the principle. Just the principle.
I would bet good money Michael Keaton would love Jack Frost, the one we're talking about.
He might. He just might.
He would love that. Come on, he was in Beetlejuice.
Well, he was a physical comedy actor up until, now.
Exactly. So he would love it. He'd
Jack
love it.
Frost squared. And you can have a hologram cover, so you turn it one way and it's the first Jack Frost. You turn it the other way and it's Michael Keaton.
Oh, you could actually put the snowmen next, like over top of each other, overlaid. It would actually work really well as a hologram because they're very. I mean, they're snowmen. They're sentient snowmen. They look very similar.
And just have a double-sided Blu-ray in it. One movie on one side, one on the other, with no label, so you don't know which one that you're playing.
I would buy that. I would buy that. That would be hilarious. I actually don't mind the Michael Keaton one because I like the saccharine sweet, gross, fifi Christmas movies. So, I mean, I haven't had them ruined for me yet because I've only just started watching them. So, I think I was almost 20 before I saw the claymation one with Rudolph that everybody's probably seen 100 times in their lives.
The one I'd seen 100 times by the time I was 10 and was sick of. Yeah.
I watched The Little Drummer Boy with Master and On for the first time. So I think I was 23 or 24.
That's another one they used to play every Christmas.
Well, yeah, they're all over they're all over TV even now at Christmas time. But I never watched them. I watched the Charlie Brown Christmas special for the first time.
I don't like Charlie Brown. I'm not a Charlie Brown fan.
Oh, I love the Peanuts. I do.
No, I just don't. I don't get it.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I do enjoy me some Charlie Brown. The new movie was surprisingly good. I'd never seen any iteration of A Christmas Carol, so we watched the Muppet version.
Yeah.
Yep, I liked it. I mean, I'd like to watch one of the more serious iterations of it one of these days. I haven't seen Miracle on 38th Street.
Star Wars Holiday Special?
I mean, most people haven't seen that, though, to be fair. Come on. For those of you that are really confused why I, as a 30-year-old, have never seen all these childhood Christmas. I was raised in a cult, and I was not allowed to watch Christmas movies. So I'm experiencing my childhood now. He doesn't like the Peanuts.
You don't like Peanuts? Oh,
I like Peanuts. I just don't like Charlie Brown.
Oh,
I like actual peanuts that you eat. They're great.
Good grief.
Yeah.
So I heard Miracle on 34th Street. So the best version of that movie that was never made, you might get this, Bane, you might not, should have been Miracle on 42nd Street.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, nobody gets
it. The sequel?
No, never mind. I'm just going to quietly crawl back into my hole. 42nd Street was the sleaze and porn district of New York City for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
It's 42nd Street in New York.
I keep telling you people not to talk about your porn preferences while we're live.
I said porn and sleaze. Sleaze is different from porn.
Only barely.
Well, yeah. But...
negligible.
Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about the fact that I hadn't seen like those stupid little claymation.
Oh right, those the 50s and 60s claymation Christmas movies, right?
Yeah. So
really?
I've only just started experiencing all of those. How old was I when we watched Little Drummer Boy?
Oh, that was 5 years ago now.
So it's 20. Yeah, it was 25.
26, yeah.
It's kind of weird even to myself to think about the fact that I'm watching stuff most people have seen easily 100 times.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've still never seen so much. Like I've never seen any Disney Christmas special. None.
Speaking of Disney, we've just received an offer from Disney.
Oh.
We have to fire you though, right?
No, it's I'm not completely happy with this offer. It's $50
Oh,
and a half drunk warm can of Pepsi with a cigarette butt in it.
they take the cigarette butt out.
No, I'm a bit concerned because I think there should be at least 3 cigarette butts. I think we should get one each.
Oh, you want more cigarette butts in?
Well,
in
obviously,
I don't
come on.
I don't want soggy cigarette butts. They can at
But
least
we have to get our worth.
they can at least
We're not gonna compromise.
we can at least get dry cigarette butts.
Don't get too greedy, Miss Anon. We'll be out on the street before you know it.
I don't give a shit. They can pay me. We know you have the money.
And the cigarette butts.
That's right.
And what's with Pepsi? We want Coke.
No.
Yeah. Coke, you know what? Pepsi just isn't American enough for Disney. So
yeah.
Even though Pepsi is red, white, and blue, and
I think they're lowballing us, so I think we can do better.
Yeah.
I don't want no stinking Coke. I'll settle for the Pepsi if you take the cigarette butts out of it. I don't need these guys. I can do the show by myself.
There will.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Someone offers you a half-drunk Pepsi and some cigarette butts, and automatically you get rid of it. A second thought.
Yeah. You're expendable.
You think I'll just be happy in the corner with my wet cigarette butt forever?
Of course you will. You'll sit there and you'll like it.
Just because you're correct doesn't mean it'll be forever.
Yeah, that cigarette butt's going to dry out one day.
Yeah.
It'll be like 3 days. And like, hey, you know, this cigarette butt's almost lightable. This is some fucking bullshit. This is not what I signed up for.
Anyway, should we go into the third movie?
Yeah, there's a good segue right there.
I mean, well, yeah, hey, you know what? That's a great segue. Miss Anon can't believe, or, doesn't believe that she hasn't seen all these Christmas movies over the years that she's missed out on. Where me, I thought I had seen everything that zombie movies had to offer. But here we are.
Well, it is a new one. It is a new zombie movie.
Yeah. And it's fantastic.
It is.
I'm not sure. You can tell me later. I'm not going to give it away or anything, but I think I know why you picked this movie. I think I know why you went or a zombie movie. I could be completely off.
There's a couple of reasons.
I think one reason is because it's wholesome as all fuck. And that kind of.
Well, one reason is I just saw it and I really liked it and wanted to do it on a show. And I couldn't think of a Christmas movie that I liked. And it's Friday the 13th. So I thought I'll give everyone the option of doing a zombie movie instead if they want.
Well,
because that way, it ticks all my boxes.
That's true. I almost did a Friday the 13th movie at the last minute just to be cheeky. So
yeah,
you sort of you did pick something right in between. You picked a Christmas slasher.
I did, yeah, but I did last year too. So I was literally going to pick Friday the 13th part random number. I was just going to roll a dice.
What did you pick last year? I actually don't remember.
Black Christmas.
Right. Yes.
Hello.
I was waiting for that.
Who is this?
We haven't done that in a while. Hello.
No, we did it for 3 months straight afterwards.
And then nothing for a while. Oh, we're bringing it back.
Yeah. Well, we finally found out who it was, and now we've forgotten. So.
Yes. Anyways, I really enjoyed this movie.
Well, I was just going to quickly say the other reason I picked it is because it has a little bit of a tie-in with one of my last picks a couple of months back with Climax. Totally different movies, but they both have a 45-minute one-take shot in it.
Yeah,
shot
with credit sequence, no less. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we see a little bit of behind the scenes at the end of that.
Yeah.
We see behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like behind Inception.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I had such a good time watching this movie. Her and I just watched it just today, like an hour before we started streaming.
Yeah, I watched it again at the same time. So because I watched it, I think just before our last show.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't had a chance to watch it again until today. So I watched it, about an hour before
Yeah.
we started. So we were probably watching it at the same time.
It's called One Cut of the Dead, by the way, for the audience here.
I got to tell you, I had such a good time watching this movie. I think this might be one of those rare movies where I actually wish I could see it for the first time again. I love it.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes of it.
It's a little bit of a chore, but
no, I didn't find it a slog or anything. I just wasn't sure if I found it funny or if I liked it.
Sure. I mean, I don't want to say too much about it before Bane has his chance to, but I don't know. I had a great time with it. It was just.
Well, I think we should divide the review into two halves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I should warn. I mean, we warn people at the start. But if you haven't seen this movie, listening to this review will really spoil it.
Yes, really.
Well,
well.
actually,
Not so much like the Adam Sandler one. I mean, the spoilers really aren't going to affect that one that much because
this will actually ruin it.
I don't
There's-
think spoilers would affect most of the movies we've talked about on this show for the last couple of years.
No.
Not many, but this movie is one that it will actually ruin it for you. So if you're interested in seeing this movie, don't read anything about it. Don't look it up. Just watch it, because the spoiler is such a spoiler that it'll ruin the movie, I feel, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. It'll take away the surprise, and that's the key of it. So, pause this video, go watch it, and then come back and listen to it.
Yeah, you won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. If you like zombie movies, you'll love it. And if you like, movies in general, you'll like it. So,
So I think we should divide it into two halves, the review. So the first half is basically what we see, I think, for the first, is it 40 minutes or something like that?
40
half hour.
Yeah.
Either half an hour, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes, whatever, half hour. Yeah, sure.
So it looks just like a fairly low budget zombie movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of with a twist, because they're actually shooting a zombie movie.
Yeah.
But actual zombies turn up.
Yeah. The director's not pleased. His actors aren't acting well enough, and so he decides he's going to create real zombies to get the action he desires.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be one of those directors that
Your best isn't good enough.
Yeah, he's very high strung.
Yeah, very intense.
One of those intense directors that actors and actresses generally don't like. They can appreciate a director like that, but they don't like him. It's like, I recall one of the actresses mentioning very early, saying, "Oh man, he's worse than usual today." He's screaming at this poor actress, like, no. Do it this way, without giving too much away, I guess. I don't know. It's a zombie movie that they're shooting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weird things that happen when we're watching this. I should point out too that, like we said, the first 35 minutes or whatever is one continuous take, seen from the point of view of one cameraman.
Yeah. So
we see him shooting the scene at the start, and then the director comes in and says, "No, that's wrong." And he's screaming and this cameraman's following all the events, and then we see him go off with the makeup lady and a couple of the actors, and he's shooting them as they're talking, and it just goes on like that. So it's kind of like found footage in a way.
Yeah, I thought that at first. Yeah.
It's a little bit more complex than that, and I've said numerous times that I really don't like found footage movies. Most found footage movies.
Yeah.
It is occasionally done well, and this is one of those times. It's shot like a found footage movie for the first 35 minutes or so.
There's a little bit of like awkward dialogue and long pauses, and like it feels a little,
Weird things.
yeah, some strange happenings that
Weird things. Yeah, strange.
yeah,
Like
be
even
like
at the very beginning, the film actually opens. The very first shot before anything, it opens with a young lady, the star of the movie, I guess, one of the main characters, right? Um, I can't remember the fellow. These are all Japanese. This is a subtitled film, by the way, 100% Japanese. So I don't think any of us can remember all of their names.
I remember the character's name that was he's supposed to be the guy. I guess it was Ken, and it made me laugh.
Yeah, short for something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's something strange. Like he just stops dead for a second. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this right.
Well, that when she yells "stop" at him, that doesn't feel too as weird as all the other stuff because it's sort of like if you had turned into a zombie and there was something left inside your
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you'd pause and yeah.
It doesn't feel quite as weird as some of the other ones. Like when they're up.
What that's a brilliant part of this movie because it feels all those weird things. I don't want to give anything away at this time, but I feel that Bane might agree with me here when I say that things start out the weird things start out kind of subtle, but then they get weirder and weirder and weirder to the point where they're just bizarre.
I really did. Go ahead.
I was going to say everything that's set up in that first 35 minutes or whatever pays off later on.
It does in a huge way. Yes.
Yeah. So keep that in mind as we're talking about the weird stuff.
So yeah, they're sitting up in this landing having coffee, and the dialogue at first is very fluid, very normal, and then it gets weird. And there's long.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, it's like
that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels weird.
Yeah,
for a
but
bit.
natural at the same time.
Yeah. And then we get the sort of the zombie movie within the zombie movie. The director comes, I think he comes barreling back in.
Well, yeah.
He had someone go up to the roof with buckets of fake blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the people that are on break are talking about how this building, I can't remember what was done there. It was some cult or something, or experiments or something.
That, yeah.
Something like that.
In passing. Yeah, like some kind of like blood cult or something. I don't know. Yeah, something.
There was a rumor. There was rumors about them trying to raise the dead.
Yeah.
Well, your typical zombie movie setup.
Yeah.
Something like that. So they we get the cameraman goes outside, sees this guy with glasses wandering by himself out, and we see the first zombie come staggering up and rest his chin on his shoulder, and
really creepy zombie actually.
Creepy. Startles the guy, but he starts laughing like, "Oh, they made you up too. They made you look like a zombie," and then the zombie proceeds to vomit on him, and
they're the worst type of zombies.
Oh yeah, the vomiting zombies. Those are the gross
the vomiting
ones.
zombies are the worst. Yeah,
vomiting zombies too. Gross. So he's obviously in distress at this point because
he starts screaming and going, "What the fuck is this?"
Once he's getting attacked by this zombie, and then the cameraman books it back inside, and then there's an arm that comes flying in, which the other three people are rather shocked to see, and they think it's a prop because you would.
Well, they're filming a zombie movie, so they think it's a prank, right? I would do in that situation. I'd be like, "Oh, director or whoever," right? And be like,
"Oh, you're pranking us. This is very funny."
Yeah, very funny.
So they touch and poke at this prop, still thinking it's a prop, and then the guy comes staggering in, and he's got one arm, and it's very funny. Oh, look, he died. It's hilarious. And then the makeup artist decides to go, "Okay, you can pull out your real arm now," and she whacks him on his side and realizes that he really doesn't have an arm anymore.
Yes, the zombies are real.
These are real. I think this is where the director comes all bursting back in.
The director loses his shit at this point because
Oh, yeah.
he's seeing gold.
Like, keep filming. This is what I want. This is the realism I really wanted. Like a lunatic.
Yeah, and the guy was already a little unhinged, so now, you know, this just pushes him over the edge. So
the director is very confident, isn't he?
Oh yeah, super confident. Yeah.
So I already put the blood on the ceiling, and she knows what he's talking about, the makeup lady, and she's.
Oh man, well yeah, the look of shock on her
that
face.
Was just a rumor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not.
So yeah, the director has summoned the zombies to kill the cast, and he's going to shoot this and make a fortune because it's going to be a real zombie movie.
Yeah. So he basically demands that his actors he basically forces them to just keep keep going.
Yeah, I very much enjoy how he randomly pops in and shoves zombies at them or allows zombies.
Yes, it's quite funny.
And screaming action.
Doesn't he pretend to be a zombie at one point, or to be one of the people, and let me in? It's just me.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And then they open the door. This is just a couple minutes after this scene.
Yeah.
And he's holding, I think, not the armless guy, but somebody else.
No, the sound guy.
Yeah, the sound guy who went outside, and he pushes this fucking raging zombie in.
Yeah, and goes action.
That was hilarious.
That's what I mean. This movie confused me because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be laughing or taking it seriously.
The situation itself is kind of horrifying, but the way that he it's so fucking weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, the guy's clearly insane. So it's very funny.
We should talk about the sound guy because there's a scene with him just before that.
Yeah,
where they're all locked inside, and they don't want to go out because the zombies are outside, and he's desperate to get out.
Yeah.
We don't really know why.
Yeah, he just said.
We find out later on, but he's desperate to get out.
And who is stopping him from going out? I can't remember.
The director. Yeah.
The director.
Where are you going?
What do you mean? And the sound guy's like, I have to go. Yeah. I have to go. I have to go out now. And finally the director's like, what do you mean? What do you mean just? I just have to, mocking him a little bit, right? And this poor sound guy's like, it just means just.
And he pushes him out of the way.
And then he starts to scream.
Yeah.
Start to scream, and that's actually that's when shit really hits the fan for these people.
Well, that pun will make sense later on. But he seemed terrified, and he wanted to get out of there. He wanted to get out where the zombies were, which is just weird.
Well, if you're claustrophobic, or maybe he felt trapped. I thought maybe he just felt really trapped, and he wanted to try to get away.
Because he was sitting there the whole time when they were fighting the first one. It looked like he was just in shock.
Yeah.
Just couldn't believe what he was seeing. So
yeah, it didn't feel weird. It just felt like he was panicking. He went into flight mode. You know what I mean?
He went into shock immediately upon seeing this fucking zombie, and then a few minutes later, it just hit him, and he has to go. He just has to
get out. I have to get out. I have to go.
Yeah.
So they.
When you gotta go, right? So you just get the fuck out of it.
I mean, he would have been scared shitless. Oh, at least he wished he was.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I know I would have been, so.
That will make sense in a bit. Don't worry.
Oh.
All right. So he shoves the zombie into them at the other door, which is
action.
Yes.
Hilarious. And then makeup lady goes a little bit berserk at this point. She's like, "Fuck it! I'm just gonna kill them all. Let's go. Let's run,
Yeah,
let's run to the
Yeah,
she
vehicle.
wanted to kill everyone. She
And
just
this
went.
is after her she just demonstrates her awesome, like admittedly really awesome self-defense skills.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
The other two. So she clearly knows what the fuck she's doing, but she just goes off the fucking wall. She's
She's
just like,
got an axe. She's got a hand axe. She's got
yeah, I'm just gonna fucking kill him. Come on, follow me. Let's go.
So they all make
Yeah,
it to the vehicle.
she's threatening to kill the main actress because she got a scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was after. But yeah, I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
So they get to the vehicle, and of course, bitch ain't got no keys. And here comes the director to open the door for the zombie. He goes, "Get that bitch! Action!"
It was so. I laughed on the inside, but at the same time, I'm thinking, man, this is a fucked up situation. These poor.
Yeah, this guy is a lunatic. So, I mean, we get this long, drawn-out scene with the main actress struggling with this zombie, trying to get his bag because this is where they think the keys are.
The cameraman's knocked over.
Oh yeah, the cameraman gets knocked over, and then the camera doesn't move for a bit.
Yeah.
And then when the camera finally does start moving again, it's like full-blown shaky cam.
Oh yeah. I mean, the cameraman, I guess he just regains his strength or whatever, just snaps out of it. He's just like, okay, let's go. And the camera just snaps up.
Yeah. And he starts running after
adrenaline,
her,
I guess. So
she now has the bag with the zombie chasing her. And she's
Cameraman
running.
flips over at one point.
Yep. Goes right into a bush. and the camera's like way freaking shaky cam at this point. It actually almost made me sick.
Well, yeah, they are running with it. I mean, you got to like, I mean, they're just going. And I mean, the director did say, don't stop filming, whatever. So maybe this guy, maybe he's just trying to put food on his table. Who knows?
He's super dedicated, man. He's like, you know what? This is art. I'm down. I'm gonna be part of this.
Yeah.
So she gets in this long concrete tunnel, and there's a zombie at the other end, and the zombie chasing her, and then her little boyfriend.
Weird zombie flailing his arms around like a madman.
He's my favorite zombie.
So
he was a good zombie.
Yeah, my favorite zombie. His arms he's doing like the robot.
What a weird scene.
It's great. He's fabulous.
Yeah.
And so her boyfriend comes up behind, and shoves over or incapacitates the zombie with the glasses that's been chasing her. They get away and back into the big concrete tomb, because why would they not go to the vehicle? They have the keys now. That would have just been too smart for people in a zombie movie.
Just too smart for a horror movie in general. So
yeah, it's true.
And here we are.
They find the keys and then realize, oh no, she's got a little scratch on her leg and she doesn't know if she was bitten or not. And makeup lady's like, you know what? I'll just kill you just to be safe.
This is where makeup lady goes crazy.
Makeup lady goes
crazy. Ever.
Hey man, I'm on makeup lady's side here. I do the same thing.
Oh, it's logical, I guess, if you know what zombies are, but it's still insane. To be able to actually do that is pretty.
But
that's pretty intense.
I want to live, man.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but you'd maybe wait until they started the turn, and then
because they can still be an asset. So I mean,
I'd at least cut I'd cut the leg off, or like at the knee.
You know what I think? I think the inner sociopath would come out in us more than the inner maniac. I think the inner selfish sociopath in us would just want to keep her alive for as long as possible.
Maybe
to help us.
Well, I mean, she wasn't sure if it was a scratch or whether it was a bit of blood or whose blood it was. So she's not guarantee she was going to turn.
She could have scratched herself on a branch on the ground or something.
Yeah.
Knows, right? She could have, because she did say, I'm not really sure. So, I mean, so who's to say? So I feel that the decision to just kill her was a bit rash. But I mean, man, she goes insane regardless.
And besides, if you're running towards the car and you're being chased by zombies, you just push her over.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the best scene now of her coming out of like a bat out of hell, kicking our favorite zombie to the
Yeah,
ground.
drop kicking the zombies one after the other was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
I love Robot Zombie. He's fabulous.
Yeah.
His freaking arms are all up in the air and then down.
And she just kicks him right in the middle of the chest and he goes over.
Yeah.
And then
God.
the director comes flying out of this other building and he's like, action! And she kicks him right in the balls. It's great. In hot pursuit of our protagonist, who's finally made it to the roof. Because why would you go up? Why do they all want to run upstairs?
Well,
I don't know if there's anywhere else for her to run, really. I mean,
Open field.
not in the direction she was headed.
Exactly. Why did she go that way?
Uh,
Why do they all run towards stairs and then go up? Once you're up somewhere, you ain't get back down. At least not
well,
without
we
hurt.
find out in the second part, but anyway.
But even as in any horror movie, why do they always run upstairs? You never go up. You never go up. Up's
Well, I mean,
bad.
if people were logical in horror movies, they would be a lot shorter, wouldn't they? And a lot more boring.
It's very true. I need a smart victim for once.
Yeah, I mean, who couldn't outrun a mummy?
Exactly. They're the shambling zombies. Why would
Yeah.
you go up somewhere where you can't get out instead of like
because when you're running from a zombie, or rather, sorry, when you're running from a mummy, you become the clumsiest fucker in the entire world.
Yeah,
Dude, that's
You mean-
just a rule.
that's part of the mummy's curse, I think.
I think so, and none of us are immune to it. So
You mean-
whether or not you think you won't trip over that nothing when you're running from a mummy, you will trip over all of that nothing that you don't
Yeah.
because it's not there. But you'll trip over it anyway.
Let's be fair. There's no running from mummies. It's just fast walking away from them. You just speed walk.
But you'll
Anyways,
shit.
she gets up on the roof, and then there's a little altercation between Makeup Lady and her little boyfriend who's trying to rescue her. He kills Makeup Lady with an axe to the forehead.
Yeah, but
Which is
before that, this is one of the other weird things, right? The camera pans to the female, the main actress, and it just holds on her for a long time
She's screaming.
while we hear all the action going behind the camera.
We don't see anything. Just her screaming.
And then
Which-
it pans back around, we see her on the ground with an axe in her head.
I assumed was budget when we were watching this. I was like, oh, okay, they couldn't afford to.
It's a super small budget movie anyway.
So
Yeah,
they couldn't afford to show the axe going into her head. That would have been a little bit much, but you know.
Well, the first 35 minutes did seem like a really, really cheap zombie movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Well, it is. You know, it's a very cheap movie. So
But it's a lot more than that, though.
Oh yeah, there's more.
As
to
we'll
it.
find out. Yeah. But
So-
I do have to wonder how many people switched off before they got to the twist.
That would be unfortunate for them.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I do imagine there might be some people out there who start watching it and thought, oh, this is just a shit schlocky zombie movie. I'm not going to bother watching the rest.
But yeah, actually, I actually had to take a little pee break right at when that happened, like the twisty part.
Bad timing.
I said, well, no, it was great timing because I said to him, I'm not sure if I love this or hate this.
I thought that would be your reaction at that
I don't
point.
know if it's funny or really bad.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. I was down to watch the rest. I wasn't like dreading it at that point. So no, it actually made for great timing because when I came back, we turned it back on. I was like, holy shit, this is weird. What happened?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so the makeup lady is now dead with an axe to her head.
And we see her boyfriend get pulled over by something, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah, so she's the last one left, and the cameraman, of course. Oh,
Yeah.
and the director.
Yes. And so she goes off running, gets herself into a little shed, and catches her breath. And
Yeah, she's hiding there with the cameraman hiding next to it, still with the camera pointed at her face.
And we see a creature. We don't know what it is, but it comes walking in, Stan,
Well, I assume it's zombie legs.
well, yeah, they were. I mean, they could have been mud. We don't see very
or
much.
decay or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
something.
you can't really tell what it's supposed to be because they do mention the thing.
That's true. Yeah.
So we don't really know what it is. I assumed it was this creature that they were talking about earlier, this thing. But it stands in front of her for a second, and she looks horrified. And then
The other zombies aren't running around anymore. I mean, I know they were drop kicked over, but zombies should be able to get up from that.
we would think. Well, no, she
Yeah.
cleaved the part of the one's head off too.
Yeah, but zombies, as we know, most of them would have gotten up to chase.
Yeah,
Yeah. Period. That's it.
These are weird zombies. But
So
anyway,
yeah, I remember when I first watched it, I did think it might be the creature or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's human, like it's human legs.
Yes.
There's
you
nothing
can't
on
tell its legs.
Clearly, I can tell. It's
Oh,
clearly.
I didn't. It's because it's just like this.
I just thought it was a zombie. It just looked like legs to me.
Yeah, no, not me. I just saw this gray fucking thing, and I was like, "Oh, that looks flaky. What is that?"
Yeah,
But it just comes in and stands, obviously, right in front of her.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
it's weird because you think, well, can't it see her or the cameraman?
that's what I was thinking. Well, doesn't it see her? I mean, she just moved back a couple of feet. Yeah. So whatever it is irrelevant. That doesn't matter.
yeah. That's why I didn't think it was a zombie because it didn't give a shit about her,
Well,
and then left.
the fact
Yeah,
that
that just leaves.
whatever it is didn't matter to me because it's irrelevant. The only thing I was thinking of is doesn't it see her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. That's completely 100% irrelevant. It was more of a what the fuck,
yeah,
whatever.
I wanted to know what the thing was. I thought it was the
Yeah,
thing.
I want to
I
know
thought
what
it
it
was
was
the new
first,
creature.
but yeah.
I was like, is it the
No,
thing?
whatever it is didn't matter to me. I just thought, well, doesn't the zombie see her? You know.
Yeah.
Oh no, clearly that was weird. That was
Yeah.
very weird.
It was strange. It was odd. It was certainly odd. And then she goes out and she goes, "Oh, look at this, an axe. Lucky me."
She finds an axe. Yeah.
That's convenient for the plot.
Oh yeah. I mean, good for her finding an axe, I guess. And she goes back to the roof to look for boyfriend who's walking away from her as she's yelling at him. And then they get up to the roof together, and of course he's turned. And these are the weirdest shots, I think, in this part of the movie, because like it's basically the first scene, but this time he's really a zombie. And he walks a little bit and she yells at him, "Stop," and then he does, but everything stops. It's like the weirdest game of
Yeah, and that goes on for a while. And the makeup lady pops up too with the axe in her head.
and screams, yeah.
With an axe.
She screams, "What's that?" or something like that.
Screams and then passes out. Oh, the director shows up for a second too to get his final shot. He's so very excited that he's going to get his last shot, the climax. And she instead, we see what his intentions were for this scene at the beginning, but she decides, "Nah, fuck that, I'm going to kill him."
Well, she kills the boyfriend first, cuts his head off.
That's what I mean. She kills the boyfriend first.
Yeah.
And
And
the
then
director gets pissed because she didn't follow the script. That's not what he wanted. He wanted her to die.
So she kills the director, but off camera. It's like behind a ledge.
Yes.
And we just see her swinging the axe with blood squirting up.
Yep. And him screaming a little bit.
Yeah. So now everyone's dead except her, the main actress.
Yes. And she comes out and she looks terrifying.
Yeah, she's covered in blood and guts and
Her eyes look black. Like, those contacts that you can put in and makes your whole iris, like your whole pupil, look black? Looks like she's wearing those. I don't think she is, but those always freak me out a little bit.
And she walks over to the pentagram type thing that the director had painted on the roof off camera.
Yeah.
And as she stands in it, the camera goes up high, looking down. So it's almost an aerial shot.
Yeah.
And then the credits roll.
And the credits roll with her staring at the camera.
Yep.
Sort of swaying there.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic looking shot, by the way. When the credits start to roll, it looks awesome. Because she looks fucking horrifying. Like, I think so. I think that's a great shot.
So, yeah, we're about, I think, 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, into the movie. It's all been one continuous shot, and it just seems like your typical low-budget horror movie with some weird quirks thrown in.
Yeah, those weird quirks I just kind of assumed were either just poorly written dialogue or weird, like the director had a weird direction he wanted to go in. Like, thought it was a stylistic choice, and it just kind of wasn't very good.
Well, we've all seen weird quirks in really low-budget movies. I mean, that's why at least two of us like Neil Breen.
Because of the weird quirks, the fucking bizarreness of it all. It's just...
Those are not weird quirks. Those are just bad everything.
It's like living a fever dream, basically.
That's like saying a blind man has a vision.
These absolutely bizarre occurrences for no fucking reason. Bane and I have discussed this ad nauseum a lot. Like, just these bizarre things. So
like the magic rock in the Neil Breen movie. Like, why? You just watch it, you go, why?
This bizarre idea that it's like, why? As a human being, as as a bipedal human being living on planet Earth, would you think that that
was a good idea?
Yeah, like.
So, yeah, I mean, all the quirks in this movie are explainable in that sense.
Yeah,
not so much in universe, although we'll get back to that in a second. But from the point of view of it being a low budget horror movie, you get weird quirks and you get mistakes and you get things because of the low budget, and
yeah, it just happens, and that some of it's a stylistic choice, and some of it just happens because, well, they only have $25,000 to work with over however many days or months, and if they run out, well, their dreams are squashed. So
yeah, you have to use what you got. But there is a twist. Because at this point,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it's at this point we find that the movie goes back 1 month, and we see the director, but he's a very different person. He's not the arrogant asshole that we saw in the movie. He's actually extremely humble, and in fact, you could argue he's got no spine whatsoever.
Very apologetic.
Yeah. He's pushed around, and he's a very low budget director. What's his motto? It's something like, I do it fast and cheap and average.
Yeah.
This is a good motto for him, and it works. That's great. And I should mention that the entire film, the entire atmosphere of the film changes in an instant.
Yep.
So it's almost as if we've been bamboozled, but all of a sudden we're met with this very humble man with this hilarious slogan, and we don't know where it's going because we're not quite sure what happened yet.
Yeah, and we see him directing I think it's a commercial or something, and the main actor in it is the karate zombie or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The arm zombie.
Zombie, yeah. Who's a great character, by the way.
Oh, God,
I really like him. Very funny. And then he's approached by someone, and he goes to a meeting.
He's approached by the most horrifying woman I've ever seen.
I'm about to get to her. But the meeting is about him making a short movie live for the new Zombie channel. So when the new Zombie channel starts, they're going to do a live one-shot take of a zombie movie, which is what we saw in the first 35 minutes or whatever.
Yes.
So everything we saw in that first 35 minutes didn't actually happen. Well, it happened, but it happened as part of a movie, not part of
Reality.
the
Yeah.
reality of the movie. So it's a movie in a movie in a movie, because we start seeing a movie being shot right at the start, but it turns out that
We have to talk about the horrifying woman.
yes,
Get
the
there.
the best way I can describe her is if you've ever seen an anime movie where they've got an old person, like an old man or an old woman, and they got like a really tiny, skinny body and a big head, which is just covered in wrinkles. You know that type of character. It's a stereotype in anime movies.
Yes.
She is that character.
No, she's like a horrifying version of that. She looks like the Master Anon pointed this out. She looks like the giants from Attack on Titan. The one.
Yeah, she does a bit. Yeah.
The one. Yeah. Fucking terrifying. My reaction when I saw her was whoa. Out loud, audible. Whoa.
They startled you a little bit.
Yeah, it did. She scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that a person? The fuck? Her hair, between her haircut and her freaky ass face. I wish I could screen share a picture of this actress with you. Because
A big head. She's got a big round head and a tiny, tiny little skinny body.
she's terrifying looking.
Yeah.
Terrifying. She could star in her own movie. Just put a fucking camera on her for 2 hours. I'd be terrified. She wouldn't have to do anything. Oh my god, when she smiles really big, so the Attack on Titan.
Anime character. It's like she's an anime character.
What a scary one.
Personified.
No, like some of the old people in anime, they look cute. They're all like little and no, she's terrifying. She's fucking scary.
So anyway, the rest of the movie is the setup to the live shoot, as well as the live shoot, but from a different angle. So instead of seeing it from the cameraman's angle, we see it from
Another cameraman's angle.
well, not another cameraman in universe, but from our perspective. What would you call it?
Oh, God's perspective. You know how?
Yeah. I'd normally say from the camera's perspective, but that might be confusing considering.
Yeah, considering how the film is shot.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the lead up to the shoot.
I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say. We get to know his family a little bit.
Oh, a lot.
Yes, and
his daughter wants to be a director.
She's great. She's a great character. She's cross-eyed though, but
a little bit.
I couldn't help but notice that.
You're mean.
I think she's got quite an attractive face, except she's a little bit cross-eyed.
Man, I love this movie. This stupid cross-eyed bitch, though.
She's a great character, though. She's very headstrong. She's young. She wants to be a director, but has no interpersonal skills.
She's freaking autistic, man.
Yeah.
The way she's shouting at that 6-year-old girl to cry on cue.
Or she even 6? I think she might have been younger than that. She's pretty young. She's tiny.
Asian girls look really young and really small for, they just do. So she could have been 6-ish. But yeah, no, she called the mother an old hag because she didn't want her to bully her child.
Yeah.
Oh, so
very strange.
She's interesting. And then her mother's a method actress.
Well, she's retired from being an actress because she's a lunatic, as we find out.
Her role's way too much. She's a method actor. That takes it too far.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the hilarious part of her character. It's great. Her mother.
Yeah, we find out later on that she had to give it up because she broke a fellow actor's arm.
Yeah.
Too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the wife turns out to be the makeup person in the movie later on.
He plays the director in the movie, obviously.
Yep.
Director within the director.
Yeah, although that wasn't the intent at the start, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So we meet some of the actors. We find out his daughter has a little crush on one of the actors, one of the main actors. We get to meet the best one, the flailing arm zombie.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite character in the movie, or close to it.
I would say so. He's
He's an alcoholic.
He's got a bit of a drinking problem.
Just a bit, yeah.
I just wanted to reach into the TV and go, man, the shaking will stop when you go through the withdrawals. Like, you just give it a couple of days and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, he'd been in his 50s. He's estranged from his daughter, who we don't see her, but I'm guessing she's in her 20s. And I think she's got a daughter too. I think you mentioned a grandchild.
Yeah.
The picture inside the script that he has is his daughter, who he said got in touch with him, and he was gonna go and see her, and he was so nervous he got wasted, passed out, and missed it.
Yeah. So he missed out on that opportunity. But he kind of laughed it off and said, that you got to enjoy life or something.
But then he started crying.
He starts crying. Yeah.
Yeah. He laughs and then he starts crying when he realizes like he's never going to see his daughter because he can't stop drinking.
Yeah. As soon as the camera pans to the back of his head. Yeah. Yeah.
It starts crying.
But you can't help but kind of feel something for that guy.
He's a fairly well-rounded character, actually.
He's a complete fuck up, but you kind of like him.
He's clearly he's a nice guy though, who's really fucking addicted to alcohol. It's really unfortunate and awful. It doesn't make him a bad person.
Yeah.
No, of course not. So what other characters are there?
The main actress and the main actor who's he's a diva. He's kind of a dick to everybody. He's like searching so hard for there to be this deep meaning in this script. He's like, I pick up subtle hints of racism in this script, do I?
Yeah, no.
No, Turbo, but okay. And we have the character with the glasses coming up to him going, can you show me where that? He's like, I'm busy.
Yeah, can you show me on the script where the racism touched you? And he's like, no, shut up, go away. And this poor
I don't talk to you.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just kind of a dick to everybody. He thinks he's above everybody, and we don't like him very much.
No, but I mean, he's young, and he's obviously had everything handed to him, being as famous as he is. So it's not a surprise that he's like that.
No, not a surprise, but he still is.
Oh yeah, he's still a dick. I'm not excusing him, but it's just not a shock.
There is a reason for it. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's just absolutely.
What other characters are there? Oh, my other favorite character is the sound guy.
Oh, poor
old guy. Yeah.
He wrote an email.
He emailed them, and
so we find out that if he drinks anything but soft water, his body clearly can't handle the minerals, and he gets violent diarrhea.
Yeah, he says, I can't. His first line is, I can't drink this. This is, I can't remember if it was hard.
I can only drink soft water.
That's right. This is hard water. I can only drink soft water. I emailed you. Did you get my email? I emailed you. He's very
basically straight up says, if you didn't give me hard water, I'll shit myself.
Yeah.
And later on, he asks about the toilets. Where are the toilets here on location?
I need to know where the toilets are.
I need to know. I just need to know where they are and how many. And
he's got like severe IBS or something.
Yeah, big time. Poor guy.
And he's quite spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, can't help but feel sorry for the poor guy, especially later on.
Oh yeah.
Very funny.
So we get to see them practice and rewrite and
there's two other characters, but they're barely seen. That's the actor who's meant to be the director and the actress who's meant to be the makeup lady.
Oh yeah, she brings the screaming infant to the reading, and she's like, "Oh, she's quiet." proceeds.
But apparently, the two of them are having an affair, and they were coming in the car together, and there was an accident. So when it comes to the shooting, they don't have someone to play the director or the makeup lady, which is why the real director and his wife have to fill those roles.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent a fair time like exploring the characters, and they're interesting characters.
Yeah, very, very. Everybody's very interesting.
But the really interesting thing is when we get to the shoot,
Which is great.
Yes, it really is. Yeah, it turns everything on ear and obviously shows.
We get to see why the weird things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that was set up earlier gets a payoff, which is great.
So we start at the beginning, the behind the scenes. When the director comes in playing the director, and he bitch slaps the hell out of that little boy. That's great. He deserved it, but it clearly wasn't in the script. And he just kind of went off.
Yeah, just before they start shooting, the main actress says, "Don't take it easy on me." You can.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
No.
He just goes completely fucking off his head during the scene, and I think she was a little shocked that he was that full on.
Oh yeah,
he was such a quiet, spineless, nice man before that. But once he gets into character, totally different.
It's really impressive, actually.
Yeah. He's like, oh, can a director? Everybody around him's like, oh, can a director act? And then he just pulls that right out of his ass.
Yeah, it was impressive.
He's essentially the best actor on set by far.
Oh yeah.
So later on, the scene where the main actor says to the makeup lady, "Do you have any hobbies?" And the actress says, "That's a strange question." We see the reason for that. There was it's because the karate zombie guy
got wasted.
Got fucking wasted.
He drank an entire huge bottle of sake, man.
Yeah.
Homemade sake, so it was like bathtub sake.
Yeah, so this is live on air, and he's meant to be at a certain spot at a certain time, and he's passed out drunk, and they're trying to fucking, get him up and active and shit and put makeup on him. So they need to delay. So someone comes in with a sign behind the cameraman saying, delay, and that's why the main actor says, "Oh, do you have any hobbies?" He's just making shit up to.
He's trying to make conversation to drag it up. And then the drunk guy's falling into the door, which is what the bang is.
Yeah, there's this big bang. Yeah. And everyone stops and looks at it, and the cameraman pans over. And when we're first watching it, we think it's meant to be like a jump scare or something, but it's just a drunk guy banging against the door outside as he falls over.
Because the shoot is going to shit at this point. And
So the director puppeteers the drunk zombie onto the guy with the glasses, and it turns out that vomit was real, man.
Yeah, that's why the guy with the glasses was so shocked.
And the actress too, he pukes on her too.
But the director holding up the drunk guy, but trying to duck down out of camera view. And he's like pushing his arms, flailing his arms around.
I want to watch
fucking beautiful.
I want to watch that back and see if you can see his fingers or anything in that shot. I genuinely do. Like
in the original half hour.
Yeah.
No, you won't be able to because they shot it twice.
Oh, bummer.
Because we see in the end credits, we see them actually shooting it.
Yeah.
And it's different crew.
Yeah, so. It's different. That's the behind the scenes thing. Yeah. You just won't.
Yeah. So they shot it legit, and then they shot it for us to see how they shot it, if that makes sense. That's probably going to be very confusing if someone hasn't seen the movie. But anyway.
Yeah.
So drunk zombie is one of the key points, and behind the scenes we see them panicking saying, "What are we going to do? He's drunk. Should we stop it now?"
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And actually, his daughter takes charge, and she's helping them rearrange things to make sure they can keep going. She's super helpful.
She finds her calling in life on that film.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and someone says, "Who is this?" She just takes control.
Yeah.
I don't even know who she is, but
she doesn't know with you though. She just fucking she just
you stupid woman! Look.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do with her life.
Oh, that's great. All right, so we
sound guy. We have to talk about sound guy.
Yes, this is the point where he hasn't snuck out quite yet. Not quite yet. They have the whole glasses zombie falls in first, and that's when they think it's a prank. This is when they find out there's really zombies out there, and they push him out the back door. And then they come back around and the director's inside yelling at them about something. This is when he tries to sneak out. So yeah, he decides I need to get the fuck out of here because he's shitting himself.
Yeah, I need to go. And they're like, no, you have to stay. No, I need to go. And of course, that's not in the script. But the reason why he needs to go is he's about to shit himself. And he forces himself out the door. You see the director go up to the camera in the original shoot as well as the behind the scenes shoot, the fake behind the scenes shoot, and he says, "Keep rolling." Yeah, because we think he's talking to the cameraman.
Yeah,
but he's actually talking to the crew behind the scenes because everything's gone to shit, and he's telling them, keep going. I'm going to pull it back.
I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
So we hear the other guy screaming, which is actually him getting tackled by the other employees going, "Where the fuck, where are you going? Your queue's coming up." And he's like, "It's coming."
He keeps on saying, "It's coming out, it's coming out."
She's like, "What?" He goes, "Poop."
That's so fucking funny. That was so fucking funny.
Oh, these are the poo-poo pee-pee jokes that you're okay with.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is because you can have sympathy for the poor guy in that situation. I mean, it's fucking awful situation.
He's so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like
especially live on camera too. I mean, this is going live to air.
Embarrassing, like for him, because he's crying when he's shitting himself. She's putting makeup on him while he's shitting himself.
Yeah, he's squatting in the bushes. Fucking.
Oh God.
She's putting makeup on. It's so fucking funny.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's a loud poop.
Oh yeah, it's diarrhea poop, man. We've all been there.
It's never pleasant.
Yeah, we've all had too much KFC once, and
too much fried chicken, and it's a bad news bears, bad experience.
Yeah.
So they're panicking behind the scenes because his queue is coming up, and he's obviously not there, and the whole script is now fucked, and they're thinking of pulling the plug, but the daughter jumps in and says, "No, if we take this scene from here and move it over here, it should work." And they just do what she says.
It works.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah, it works.
I think they do what she says because she's so fucking intense about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what she's saying makes sense too. So
yeah.
And we then see the once he's finished shitting in the bushes, we see the director push him in, and action. And we see the behind the scenes stuff, or the fake behind the scenes stuff, where they're putting in the fake head and the fake body, and the actor moves out the way, and they're throwing a bucket of blood in, and we actually see the real footage of them doing behind the scenes stuff at the end during the end credits. It was quite impressive the way they ran around and kept out of view of the camera. And I imagine it's not easy to do that. We spoke a bit about that a couple of months back when we were talking about Climax, and I said it would be hard for Gaspar Noé to direct when the camera is moving, through this long building, down narrow corridors and in different rooms, and some of the rooms are crowded and some are cramped. It would be hard to do. I even suggested that maybe he was behind the camera, which I guess would make things a lot easier. I think one of you guys said he's probably hiding in the cupboard with the camera turned around. He might literally have been doing that, because that's basically what we saw in the behind the scenes stuff in this.
Well, it is. Yeah, it's excuse me. It's like the best kind of like guerrilla filmmaking. Like I can see Gaspar Noé doing something like that. So,
I really admire it too. It's would not be easy to do, and I have to wonder how many takes they do, because you mess stuff up.
Oh God, yeah. Like you can, I can only imagine. Like, that would be such a grueling film set. I think. Like,
yeah, especially if you got, let's say you're doing a 30-minute one take, and you got the 29 minutes, and someone fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, that was so frustrating.
Well, it must happen. It must happen.
Or stubs their toe or something, or whatever, right? Like, I don't know, gets a twinge in their side, like they get a cramp in their calf or something. Anything could happen, right?
Yep.
Whether it's the fault of the actor or not. I mean, obviously, if you have to sneeze, you got to fucking sneeze. So anything could happen. Yeah, that would be so unbelievably frustrating for everybody involved. So,
well, we see at the end with the real behind the camera stuff. The cameraman slipped over.
Yeah,
when he was chasing the woman from the car to the concrete tunnel thing through the field, he slips over, and in the fake behind the scenes stuff, the camera woman slips over at the same point, because they obviously had to match up the footage.
Yeah.
But she slipped over earlier on when they first came out of that building going to the car.
Yeah.
Because at that point she was
hurts herself there.
Hey?
She hurts herself there. I think that's a genuine fall down.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure she did not mean to slip at that point.
Her fucking head bounces off the ground.
Yeah, it looks like it was really, really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on her for keeping going.
Yeah. Well, so they kill the shitting zombie, we'll call him, the town guy zombie.
Yeah.
And then they do the scene where they head out to the car, and like I said, the assistant camera woman slips over at that point, and it does look like that was an accident, not something in the script. But shortly after that, the bit in the original 30 minutes where the camera's laying on its side, we see in the fake behind the scenes bit, the cameraman gets knocked out, which is why the camera's on its side.
Yeah.
And the assistant.
Sorry? He gets pushed over and his back spasms, and he's like.
Yeah, he's in great pain, right?
Yeah, he's trying really hard not to scream. And it's alluded to because he's complaining about the back pain like way earlier, going, oh,
you're right. Yep, you're right.
Shot's gonna kill me.
Just for the show must go on. He's trying so hard not to be like, oh God.
Yeah, and she wanted to run the camera, but he said, "You're not ready for this." And she wanted to do all these corny zoom in, zoom outs.
Yeah,
which she proceeds to do because she takes the camera when he can't get up.
Yeah,
she seemed pretty confident though. I think she was a fairly good choice. So
she made me sick. Whatever she was doing, the extra shaky cam with the zoomy inny outies. Not my big man. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but anyway, she picks up the camera and follows the action.
Yeah,
including a fake slip where the real cameraman actually slipped over, as we see in the end credits.
Yeah.
This must be so confusing to anyone who hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah, it would be.
Because there's like 8 levels to this movie.
It's movieception.
It is. So what other weird scenes? Oh yeah, the makeup lady going nuts, or the actress actually went nuts because
Yeah.
as we established earlier, she gets lost in her roles and she just went nuts.
She's a method actress, so she's like, oh, do I do this or do I not? Oh.
So when she was drop kicking zombies, she was actually drop kicking the actors.
Yeah, full on.
Yeah, playing the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to choke her out to
Yeah, they had to put her in a sleeper hold. Which is great.
and the weird legs in the shed that we couldn't decide whether it was a zombie or the creature or whatever. Once we see the behind the scenes stuff, the fake behind the scenes stuff, it's actually just someone coming in with a sign to tell the actress where the axe is.
Yeah, grab the axe outside or whatever.
Yeah.
So great.
So what we thought was somehow integral to the plot. I mean, what's these pair of legs? Who is it? What's going on? It's just someone coming in holding up a sign. They just put on zombie makeup on their legs and took their pants off.
And to that actress's credit, within the context of the film, she did very well. She didn't
Yep.
The way she grabbed her face was yeah.
Very, very well done. All the way around. Yeah, the context of the film within the film and the film itself. It worked.
Yeah.
Oh, and they also knocked the crane off the roof. That was for the final shot, and that's important later on.
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah. They
During
noticed
that scene. They knocked the crane over because she was going crazy.
The director looks pretty heartbroken at that too. That's
But yeah, the producer's like, you know what? I think we're just gonna have to cut that final scene.
Yeah, it's not art; it's just TV. He says.
How are we supposed to shoot it with no crane? So.
And the daughter comes up with a solution, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yep.
But yeah, the action goes back up onto the roof, and the scene where the makeup lady with the axe in her head wakes up. That's actually the actress waking up, just standing up in shot. So it's one of those little accidents that would have happened in an actual shoot like this, which they just popped in, which is great.
Well, she was choked out, so she has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. And when she says, "What's that?" she's talking about the human pyramid.
Yeah.
Just extras and crew and that try to form a pyramid so they can do the crane shot at the end, which is great.
And she just had her cardioid arteries just squished. So she
by her husband, no less.
Yeah, but her brain's out of it at this point a little bit. She wakes up. She might have thought that she was out for 3 days at this point. So she just gets up and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she has got an axe in her head too. So
it's great. But that was the weirdest thing in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? I forgot about it immediately after because it was. But it was
so quick. It was just one of those little blips, and I thought, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, it's so strange. And then you finally see it in context, and of course, it makes sense. But it's so great. That poor lady was so confused, and we finally find out. That was the biggest thing for me. What the fuck was that? I wanted to see how that happened.
Yeah, so we get to the final shot, which is like the human pyramid, where the daughter of the director takes the camera and climbs up on top, and they get that final perfect shot, and it's a huge success.
Yeah, and we finally find out why the zombie stops again and again.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The zombie who was the main actor who was going to attack his female co-star kept on stopping. It's because they were trying to make the human pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we see the behind-the-scenes stuff when the credits roll, which I found some of the most interesting thing in the whole movie. I mean, the whole movie was great, but the behind-the-scenes stuff, the real behind-the-scenes stuff was really good at the end too.
I'm going to take a closer look at that a little bit. some other time, maybe tomorrow morning or something.
Credits. We didn't watch the credits.
I watched a lot of it, but I got to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, it was getting approaching.
It's only short little clips, but you see him running around and ducking behind things and staying out of the way of the camera.
Yeah,
and the scene when the sound guy zombie comes in and they're fighting him. You see him duck out the way, the actor duck out the way and come out.
yeah.
And they come in right under the camera with a fake body and buckets of blood and shit. They're throwing it in. It's all done like clockwork. I'm sure it didn't go that smoothly, but it looks it.
I bet you he went and just shit himself for the rest of that. Finally, I'm dead and I can go and shit in peace in a porta potty in privacy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the real actor had the shits though. So.
No, I know.
Stop ruining the joke. God.
So, yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was very original. I can't recall seeing a movie exactly like that.
Not exactly. I think there have been some that have had the same general kind of premise, like within a movie, blah blah blah, but not quite like that. Just the credits being 30 or 35 minutes into the movie, just little things like that. Like, no, it's pretty fucking original for the most part.
Who would do that apart from maybe Gaspar Noé?
Exactly. No, it's just a really cool thing, and it goes from this really schlocky, low budget, admittedly kind of cool zombie movie. It wasn't terrible. I thought it was pretty neat. To this really wholesome family drama kind of. It's really good.
Yeah, comedy. So what starts out as a schlock zombie movie turns into a comedy.
Yeah, and it's good. It's so compelling. As soon as it, like, so fantastic. Like, I could probably watch this movie 3 times in a row and just have a good time every time.
And everything that's set up pays off, and the setups aren't obvious.
Yeah,
that's the good thing about it. It's unfortunate whenever you see a movie and the setups are so fucking obvious that you know where they're headed.
Yeah, and
like if you see a movie set on a plane and one character mentions to another character that he's taken 3 flying lessons,
yeah,
you know that by the end of the movie he's flying the plane. The pilots have died or something, and he's going to be taking control. It's an obvious setup, but I don't know how you write around that, to be honest, without being obvious.
I was just going to say, I mean, I think that's just it's unavoidable. Much of it. You just how do you avoid it? Right?
Yeah, because you have to do that setup, otherwise, it's bullshit if he suddenly says, "Oh, by the way, did I mention I can fly a plane?" Just at this point where it's crucial to the story.
Yeah, I think that's just something that just has to be done sometimes, and I
prefer that to the all of a sudden. Oh yeah, I just know how to do this thing.
Exactly.
Classic a few years ago. Yeah.
But I do prefer movies where the setup isn't obvious, where they give you a piece of information and it pays off later without tipping their hat and letting you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It does take some clever writing sometimes, but that does it right throughout the movie.
No, this was very good. It's very clever. Very, very clever.
So I take it we'd all recommend it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I think we've ruined it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Well,
There was a disclaimer, so.
Maybe confuse them as well, because it's not the easiest movie to describe, I think. But I think we did a fairly good job.
I think so. By describing it essentially as 2 different films, I think, that's the way to do it. I would recommend it. I'm craving to watch it again, actually, immediately.
Yeah, I'd like to watch the credits closer, like the behind the scenes. I
liked the schlocky first 30-35 minutes of the movie, but what I mean by watching it over and over again is the last hour. It's just it's really very, very compelling. Like it rivals some of the best comedies from the 80s. like some of the best Chevy Chase movies, and stuff. It just rivals those. I think it's very, very well done.
But the characters were so good too, and you can't help but feel for the characters. You can't help but feel for the director because he's so spineless when we see him as the director, like the real director.
Yeah,
He transforms in the movie, and even I think the movie transforms him because he develops a bit of a spine towards the end. He kind of caves in, but then kind of stands his ground a bit.
yeah. He grows as a person and a director, and he just
Yeah, and the wife's an interesting character with her losing herself in the role. The daughter's interesting.
She's great. I love her husband, the director at that point. Fuck, we have to stop her. Guys, you don't understand. We have to stop her because she's not herself. I thought that was so funny.
And the alcoholic guy, you can't help but like him. He knows to fuck up.
The poor guy. I felt bad for him.
And we can't forget Mr. Shits.
Yeah. Oh, good old Mr. Shits. Mr. Poop.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So, since we did our last show, I've watched a few movies, which I don't want to spoil with in-depth reviews or anything, but just
we don't have
briefly mention. Some of them you may have seen, but I'm guessing most of them you haven't. The first one you would have no doubt heard of, Dr. Sleep.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited for that.
I haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet. Certainly want to. It has
I won't spoil it, don't worry, but I watched it the other day and fucking loved it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I absolutely loved it.
Did you read the book?
No, I haven't read the book.
Okay.
I did read about the book afterwards, and apparently the story in the movie is slightly different.
But yeah, it'd have to be a little bit different.
It would have to be otherwise, because it's a sequel to the film, basically.
Yeah.
I've read the book, and the film has a great pedigree. I mean, it's directed by Mike Flanagan. He directed, quite a few actually really good modern horror films. Oculus being one of them.
That's a great movie. I didn't know.
No,
director. Yeah.
Mike Flanagan is a really amazing up and coming director. So to hear that film is pretty good, it makes me happy because he's.
I'll let you decide for yourself, but I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great movie. So yeah, I was quite happy with that.
He directed another Stephen King adaptation in 2017. He directed Gerald's Game.
Oh, I'm not sure if I've seen that.
It's apparently really good. He directed Hush as well, which is about the blind woman whose house gets invaded by that creepy killer. Miss Anon.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Which one?
Do you remember that movie? It's called Hush. The one where the blind young the deaf young lady.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, Oculus, Hush, that Ouija movie, the second one, the one that's really good, Origin of Evil. It's really good, legitimately good. The first one's terrible, but yeah. So it's got a great pedigree. I can't wait to see it. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Ad Astra.
No idea.
Oh, it's a big sci-fi. Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
I've
heard of it. I don't know much about it.
I have no idea.
Well, I won't give it away, but some of the best action scenes I've seen in a movie this year.
Oh, that's nice.
But the scenes between the action scenes are very long and very slow. So I didn't mind that too much because I think the director was going through, for a feel of being in space and being alone and things like that. But I imagine some people might have found the in-between scenes, as I will call them, somewhat boring, but personal taste. The action scenes were fucking amazing.
Nice. Sometimes I like me a big budget action movie. I know it's not an action movie, but I know what you mean. To see that really big bombastic, I'm not sure if that's what it is, but yeah, I love a good action scene that's actually filmed well. So yeah, I've heard of it. It looks like it might be good. I've seen I think all of the trailers, like the teaser, and then it looks really interesting. So
now the next three, I'm guessing you haven't heard of, although you do watch a lot of movies, so you might have, but they're pretty unknown, I think. The first one is I See You.
I See You. No, I don't think I've heard of that.
It's another one with a bit of a twist. A short way into it, I won't give it away, but it starts out as a fairly generic horror crime movie, but yeah, then there's a twist, and it kind of took off. And I went from thinking it was fairly average to pretty bloody good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. A sci-fi called Little Joe, which is about a group of scientists who are developing a flower which needs a lot of tender care. It needs love. It needs you to pay it attention and to care for it and talk to it. And in return, it releases pheromones, which are supposed to make people happy. Right. But in all good sci-fi, since Frankenstein, science sometimes goes wrong.
Oh yeah. I've heard of this movie. I've actually seen a trailer for it. So
yeah. So I won't say any more than that. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. The last one I do highly recommend, though. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but a fairly decent one called Daniel Isn't Real.
I've heard of the name mentioned on a couple of podcasts, but I have no idea what it is.
So it starts out with a young boy. I'll go a little bit into the plot, but not enough to give it away. I won't give any major spoilers or anything. But it's about a young boy who he walks out of his townhouse down the street where there's been a shooting in a coffee shop. And there's a big crowd outside, and he looks in and sees the dead bodies. And a young boy called Daniel is standing next to him. And they go off and start playing, and it soon becomes apparent that Daniel's an imaginary friend. And Daniel tells the young boy to crush up some tablets and put it into his mother's drink, which almost kills her, right? And, of course, the boy blames Daniel, and she tells him that he has to tell Daniel to go into his grandmother's big dollhouse and lock the door to lock him in, right? And then it cuts to when Daniel's, I guess, early 20s at university, and his mother's mentally ill at this point, pretty badly mentally ill, and Daniel's seeing a psychiatrist and talking about, when he was younger and some of the shit he went through, and the psychiatrist suggests that maybe he should go and let this imaginary friend out of the dollhouse, right? Symbolically let him out and deal with that part of his psyche so he can, come to terms with the past. So he lets Daniel out of the dollhouse, and at first Daniel is a good influence, but it doesn't really last.
Interesting.
So that was it wasn't a bad movie. I quite enjoyed it.
Sounds interesting.
It does. I'm going to have to watch a couple of trailers for that tomorrow.
Yeah, not as good as One Cut of the Dead, but yeah, still a decent movie. But yeah, Dr. Sleep is definitely the best out of all of them.
Yeah, I've been really excited for that. I've been waiting.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. I've been waiting for it too. I mean, it's been in theaters for a long time. It's almost out of theaters at this point. But
I'm the only one that's read the book.
I've read the book. Well, I've listened to the book.
Oh, did you actually finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You very recently did that.
Yeah, the unabridged audiobook. So.
Yeah. It's
the one read by Stephen King himself. So I'm pretty sure I got a really good experience.
Oh yeah.
So when's our next show? Are we doing it in 2 weeks, just before the end of the year, or are we leaving it till next year?
Well, I mean, what would that be? The 27th? Let's see.
Yeah, it'd be the 28th for me.
Yeah,
So-
27th for us in the evening. So I don't know. I don't think maybe we shouldn't give a concrete answer to that quite yet.
Okay, it's a maybe then,
Yeah,
because it is right between Christmas and New Year.
it is. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'll.
Mm.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
It's, it is actually probably doable.
yeah, it's just one evening, and we've got all our stuff planned kind of other days. So
Yeah, it's all around it. So yeah, actually that might be doable. We can do the 27th.
yeah, let's see I don't see why not, because
No, I'm looking at my calendar. I don't see why not.
okay, so if we do it,
Old woman. I have a calendar right here.
well, me too. Your episode missing on that would be The Jacket and The Experiment.
Oh, Adrian Brody celebration.
I was going to ask which one it was. Yep, so it's Miss Anon's.
Yeah.
Yep.
That should be those should be two fun movies to talk about. I've only ever seen The Jacket so far. The Jacket was really good. I liked it.
It's so weird and interesting, and it's
great. I haven't seen The Experiment. I've seen trailers, which
I've been talking about that for so long.
Looks like a really, really compelling kind of weird science fiction-y, thriller type movie. It's
fiction drama.
Drama, yeah, nice. It looks good, and it's got Forrest Whitaker in it, which is.
If I was going to compare it to anything, I would compare it more to like the Shawshank Redemption-esque.
Oh, nice.
Not
Oh, good.
To the prison setting, but just in terms of drama.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, is it Kurosawa?
It is Kurosawa. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a big one. That's a good way to start the year.
It's going to be a huge one. Yeah.
That's going to be we'll probably do that on our Saturday.
Yeah, we were discussing that last episode, remember?
Yeah, a little earlier, because it's probably going to be a long one, guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long one. All the movies I think are over 3 hours long.
They are, and for the most, Dreams is the shortest. I think Dreams is 2 hours and 20. But I feel a lot of segues are going to come up.
Oh yeah.
And I'm guessing this is the first of probably 2 or 3 Kurosawa specials, because we can't just do one.
No.
We might do another one if we're still doing this in a year or two, or maybe even less than that, because he's got quite the library to sift through.
Yep.
And they're not all the same. I've heard a lot of people say, just on forums or just in person even, that all he ever does is samurai dramas, and how wrong they are. I mean.
But there's nothing wrong with the samurai dramas he does.
Nothing wrong. No, and he does many. I would say most of his films are those. So they're not wrong, but they're just so fucking good. It's just a master class. He's in a class all of his own.
So what are the 3 movies we've picked? It's Seven Samurai.
Yeah, Dreams and Ran.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah. I think they're from, Ran and Dreams are pretty close together in terms of, Ran is 86 and Dreams is 1990. But
I've never seen Ran, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The battle scene is one of my favorite scenes ever in a movie.
Yeah,
the use of sound and music is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, but right after that, we have a torture fest.
So from great to shit.
Yeah, that's a segue.
Essentially flawless filmmaking to absolute shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And then Bane's next episode. So
yeah, and I can't wait for you guys to see Naked.
Yeah. You've mentioned that a lot.
I know, but it's if I had to pick,
it's okay. You've just mentioned it. You've given us a brief synopsis. I've watched a trailer.
If I had to pick a top 10, that it would probably make my top 10. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. And Cloud Atlas, I'm excited for. I'm gonna
Mm.
wait. I'm gonna wait until a week or so before the episode to watch that. But I've wanted to watch that movie for years, and I had never gotten around to it. So
That's another great movie. I'm not sure if I mentioned how they came up with Naked. I'm not sure if I read it before our last show and I mentioned it or not, but I'm sure if I have mentioned it, you'll tell me. But basically, what the director did is he wrote an overview of the plot, very basic plot, and then he told the actors to go off and develop their own characters, to build their backstory and things like that, right? And then he put them in a room together for 3 weeks and let the characters just interact with each other. And then they built the script from that.
Wow. So they basically, he just said, okay, make yourself method act for a few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that great?
Yeah, that's really interesting. That would, wow.
And it's really dialogue heavy too. It's one. I mean, great characters, great actors, but the dialogue is really, really heavy in this. So, yeah. But I think that's great. Instead of doing exactly the same thing as everyone else, I think it's great when directors take chances like that and do something different and creative.
Well, that sounds like a huge risk, and it sounds like the director really put his ego aside, if he even had one, because that's putting a lot of faith in your actors, which isn't a bad thing, but it can really spit in the face of a director's intention. So, no, that's great. That's commendable that he actually had the guts to do that.
So, is that it? What anything else?
I think that's actually it.
That's it. Yeah, we'll see everybody on the 27th. I don't see why we can't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
although it is us, so you never know.
Yeah. Between now and between Christmas and New Year's, I mean, it's probably doable. I think it's fine.
Yeah. If not, we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
We would all recommend Jack Frost, would we?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just for what it is.
Mm-hmm. If you like schlock, especially comedy schlock, then highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, it's funny.
I think we'd all recommend One Cut of the Dead because it's just a clever, well-written, well-executed movie.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
And all I will say about 8 Crazy Nights is I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But
yeah, it makes me laugh a lot. It's very funny.
It made me laugh a lot more than I thought it would. But I would
say if I did an edit, which was maybe 5 to 10 minutes long, I would enjoy it.
You know what? You don't like the saccharine sweet kind of Christmassy movie anyways. So
That's true. That's why I wanted to do a zombie movie.
Yeah.
And you ended up picking the most wholesome zombie movie that could ever exist ever.
You do realize that next year I'm going to pick an actually saccharine sweet Christmas movie that make you sit through it, right?
Well, maybe I'll pick one and make you sit through it.
I like them.
Oh, well, I won't do that then.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'll pick a very Neil Breen Christmas.
Okay.
I'll make you watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Okay.
We should do that anyway. We should do a live viewing of it because it's so bad.
A Neil Breen Christmas Special. I've celebrated all of the holidays. All of them.
I was there for the first of all of them. Okay, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.